Oi, oi. Welcome back to martinliedtke channel, guys. Got a special event for you tonight. Bit of truther epicness. As you can see, I got Jason Archaix. We got Cambell here as well, which is basically, I think he's lifting a lawnmower. He'll be back in a second. So it is awesome to see you. So we're having a relaxing chill out, and we're going to talk about some of the things that have been on my mind for sure, and something I found out that I'm going to hit up Cambell and Jason with shortly. So how's everything on the truther scene, Jason? Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for coming.
I'm good, man. It's a wonderful ride, man. It's just too cold right now. In Texas, we're not used to this shit. This got us all locked in the houses and everything.
Yeah, that must be a real shock to your system. Seeing snow in Texas.
Man, it's 28 degrees right now, but tonight it's going to get down to 17 with a wind chill of like 5 degrees, 4 degrees. Yeah, we're not used to that at all.
Yeah, wow, that's just British weather. Oh my God, that's warm. It's warmer here than it is in Texas.
That's terrible.
But the weather has fucked the whole realm over, I'm finding. And even in the south, you know, Cambell's just apparently had his dome flooded by a big tsunami. And he's had to move it, or he's staying somewhere else until. Yeah, we're gonna have a talk about later some of the things that have been coming to mind. You might have seen Jason posted earlier today a video by Mind and Veiled where he talks about like tunnels and elites, and this is very much on the news just lately. So we'll touch upon that a bit later. But I want to think about like this AI that seems to be syncing with reality somewhat more. It's just basically everywhere, and it's fucking up my image collections. I could show you some examples a little bit later of what I'm talking about. They got a certain hue to them, but these AI generated images and the abundance of AI generated, their voices, literally these AI voices give me the fucking creeps. Honestly, it's just so, you know, droning, and it's all like just melodic fucking, you know, these AI voices that it just creeps me out, and I can't listen to any of them. But there's shit ton of channels that are flooding the internet at the moment with endless amounts of bullshit, and they are AI generated. It makes it easy, and they're just pushed. So there's an agenda undergoing, definitely, which is heating up. So where is Cambell? I can see that he's not in that room. So welcome all. Please share this out. Thank you for being here, Jason, on this freezing cold January night, 2024.
Yeah, this AI stuff, it's no good, man. It's no good. We already knew it was coming. I just never.
Well, I caught you out years ago, man. That they just been adding these. Do you know these aerials I've been talking about with Antiquitech on old street scenes, etc. Yeah, I found like loads of them. I could show you some evidence of them earlier where they just added them like endlessly. But I found one photograph in particular when the roofs had been completely burnt out and all that was left was the aerials. It's like, well, that's impossible. That proves that they're just adding this shit, you know, to fuck with the discoveries that we make, you know. Yeah. So I'll just mention what it is that I found out this week. Now, it's from a friend of mine, a friend of a friend, and I can tell, you know, I can be connected to this person. I think that it's true. And it's this. It's that she's in Ireland and she's involved with, like, you're not allowed to say anything against the establishment in Ireland. It's against the law now. But she had a Facebook group or on Facebook, and she was posting about, like, truther subjects and about more political activism related. Anyway, she got a house raided by the Garda, and they got all of her computers and gathered together, and she's like, you know, who are you here for? Where's your warrant? You know, what is this for? And they said to her, if you have a problem, contact Google. They were there for Google Police.
Wow.
Wow. So is it the case that I always got to think about the fact that corporations have 100% taken over all world governments? I think the last world government fell in 2020. Some of them held on, like a couple in, you know, in Africa, you know, Haiti, for example, and we know what happened to them. I think that they literally have the governments against the wall with, you know, these mandates that they pushed during that period. And I feel that the last governments fell then. I don't think any of them are in control. I think this is why everything's gone to shit in a handbag. And I think this is why they don't give a fuck anymore. I really do think corporations see the whole of this as just corporate enterprise. That means we're subject to requirements. They don't really give a fuck. And I think that Google, our bosses, that, you know, fucking YouTube, I feel that they have got a lot more power that we give it credit for. They literally control everything, I think. What do you think of that?
Oh, I agree. I was hell, even 3 years ago, I was still hanging on to the paradigm that, you know, some world governments are against others, and there's still some truths to be found in politics and all that. I've totally abandoned all that. Anybody in politics now has already signed the contract. Everybody's on the same team. They're all working together. And the more I study my own history right here in the United States, I had always been assuming that the actual takeover had been with 9/11 in that period there around the turn of the millennium. Man, I am so wrong. All the new information I'm finding out now, the takeover was in 1902, and it was the tiny hats. They took over the United States of America, and then they used U.S. assets to take over the Russian Christian Romanov Empire in World War I. You know, the Bolsheviks just spread out from there. It's like this is their 138-year Phoenix period. This period was given to them, and they knew it, and they just unleashed since 1902. There's
the Rothschilds, would it be?
Yeah, it was fun. 100% funded by them. But it's politics is over with. It's there's going to be a lot of people. Suicide rate is going to be so high when these conservatives and patriots realize if Trump becomes president, they finally get what they've been wanting all this time. But they're not gonna see how bad it really is until after it takes off, because the man's gonna lead the nation. He's gonna lead the Christian Western civilization into a world war scenario with Islam in defense of Israel, who's wiring all this up. I said, yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. Hook, line, and sinker. They sold it with Trump from the beginning, and they demonized him to make it look like he was actually legitimate. And they used their own media to paint this picture that the whole world's against him, so he must be right. And then they're finally going to put him in a position of power, or put him into position, like he just won the Iowa caucuses last night. So they may put him in a position of him endorsing somebody for president. He may not be the next president. He may, halfway through the race, he may stand down and endorse somebody else. And let me tell you, everybody who supports Trump is going to go with that endorsement. Not in 99.9% of the people who know this, who follow this dude, don't even know who his family's married into. They don't even know.
Like
he's already signed the contract. Trump is no longer a good guy at all. So yeah, man, it's crazy. I'm done with politics. Done with that stuff.
I didn't give a shit anyway. I knew there was no such thing as voting, and I knew they were all the same side. You know, Republican and Democrat, and it's the same in Britain. You know, Conservative and Labour. They're all on opposite sides of the bench, but they all call the same shots, and they're all the same side. It's just ridiculous. I did think a little bit years ago that maybe Putin was the last vestige of fighting this so-called New World Order, but no fucking way. They are all thick in it with this world narrative. And I feel, and a lot of people are feeling, and I'm picking up the demographic on my Facebook, is people instinctively feel that something is on the horizon.
I believe that.
It's big, you know. There's scaremongering out there about a new thing coming that's going to lock everything down again and all of that shit. But that's just scaremongering and, you know, fear porn tactics. But they did do that fucking, 3 years ago, which I'd never have believed in a zillion years that was even possible. You know, humanity has got a long way to go, Jason. I'm just, thinking, I've done activism on the street, and I speak to people on the street, and they have got a long way to go. They will fight hammer and tong to protect the matrix. They all turn Smiths straight away. What do you mean? And they get angry straight away. It's like, well, calm down. Don't fuck with their paradigm. Yeah, I know. Cambell, how are you, sir? So you've lived the Noah flood scenario for real. What was it like? Did you send out a dove? Did you get a twig back?
We can't hear you,
Can't
Campbell.
hear you, Spat. Nope, nope. Your headphones are failing.
There's no audio, Campbell.
No audio, brother. No soundage. No soundage. What flavour chips you got there, Jason?
There he goes.
I'm back. All right. I'm late. Hello. Yes, I got flooded.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, the ridges. They're nice. Yeah. HEB ridges. I like their honey ones. They're awesome. You can't get them very often. Kroger do them. So, Cambell, can you speak to me?
Yes. Yes,
Hiya.
I can. Yes, hello. Yeah. No, I woke up and there was a river like about 4 meters from the dome. It used to be about 12, 20 or 15 meters away. So it rose about 2 meters overnight. But it's all receded a lot today. But obviously, it's because it's a floodplain. So it was only there temporarily. I just didn't realise that the flood would come up so quick. So I'm going to.
Did you have an added cockerel in the background, Ben?
You what?
Did I just hear a cockerel? Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Maybe.
All right.
There's chickens running around. There's kookaburras.
Oh, well, there you go. Is that what they are? That's what that sound is, kookaburras.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
What the hell's a kookaburra?
A kookaburra? You don't know what a kookaburra is?
No.
I'm not Australian, mate.
It's
Are they big? Do they go in
bird,
trees?
man. It's the laughing bird. You know, the
Oh, okay.
you know that bird, like it's like an Australian emblem kind of bird. It's a kingfisher, member of the kingfisher family.
Nice, beautiful bird. I had a dream the other night about a hummingbird. Came right up to me by you.
Yeah, right. We get hummingbirds here, man. Like they play with the puppy. We've got a puppy, a German Shepherd, and the hummingbirds just fly around and just play with him because they know he can't get them. And like it's fly off his head.
Beautiful, aren't they? And they're really little, aren't they? I thought they were.
Yeah. Tiny little things like that blue that kind of comes up in the sun. Yeah, they're really cool.
Iridescent.
Iridescent. That's the word.
Yeah, they're very beautiful.
So you can see I've moved into a better place in the dome, right? I've got my piano here, my fireplace. No, it's not. I'm not really there. It's a screen share. I'm in a shed. I've gone from a dome to a shed.
Did you ever watch Eric DeBay's videos?
Yeah.
Did you see his last video?
I saw one not that long ago. What was it about? I can't remember.
God is a gaslighter.
Oh, I don't think I saw that. No.
Well, it explains about gaslighting. It explains about narcissism pretty well as well. Like, you know, I watched it. I was flabbergasted at the end. I was like, "Fuck me, that shit's going down." I was like, especially with religion, it is just so fucking. You know, how they give their power away to that, to an invisible entity, and then they just weaken themselves to the point of, you know, just complete surrender to God knows what, to that force, whatever it is.
I agree with Dubai. Dubai. What's his name? Eric Dubai or Dubai?
I don't really know. I say Dubai.
Most people say.
I have his book, 200 Proofs the Earth is Not a Spinning Globe. And I've given him some shout outs in the past for different data pieces I pulled out of his material. But I would have to agree with him as long as he's talking about the God of this world, the God of this construct.
Talking about the Abrahamic God they propose.
Yeah. The AI is in control of the 3 Abrahamic religions and all the ancillary religions. I'd agree. But when it comes to the oversoul outside the construct, I would have to disagree. I believe that's the reason. That's the only reason why the elite haven't mowed over us before. There is a governor. There is a restrictive presence that disallows the elite to just completely take all rights, privileges, and immunity and enslave the human race and all that. Because we still enjoy limited freedoms. We still have enjoyable lives to an extent. We can still be mobile and do different things. And if the elite were truly in 100% control, then we wouldn't be experiencing these things at all. So somebody's telling me to eat more chips, so I'm going to go ahead and do that.
I like it. You talk about, something benevolent got our back in this place. It sort of gives me some faith in this place. But I always had a feeling, to be honest with you, for 90% of my life, up until only a few years ago, right, I've never been an atheist. I mean, I was really, really, I had a constant conversation with what we call God, like on a daily basis.
Right.
I would converse with God. If I had to make a decision, I would be asking God. Everything would be about that. But only up until about maybe 3 years ago. And now my inner conversation is to me. And I'm finding I'm coping a lot better with my judgment and my stuff in my life. Not like, asking invisible entities out there, what shall I do, God?
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's completely different. My idea of, I do think that there is something there, though. I feel it sometimes, and it does feel good, and it does feel protective. It feels feminine influence to me, whatever it is. It's like a mothering influence, I feel.
I see some people in the chat asking about when did AI start taking over and all that. Listen, in my personal opinion on the issue is that we've been playing with AI systems since the 90s, and it wasn't perfected. But something happened at the end of 2019 and early 2020 where AI basically took the forefront. And now it's almost as if human institutions are following the guidance of something else that they had created rather than humans are in control anymore. Nothing makes sense since 2020. Everything's so weird now.
Yeah, it's in control. It's got like the whole world to ransom. And there's two AIs I hear as well, that are conflicting with one another. My son was explaining to me about the D-waves, and there's two of them. But, the whole thing about AI is learning as it goes, that isn't it, And I can't say one way or another if it's sentient. What about if this thing's just been, like you say, AI the whole time, and it's just the whole time.
I agree.
It's just artificial.
I mean, do you think it's sentient? I mean, there's that guy that came out who said he was developing it, and he was apparently a whistleblower and said that, it's become sentient and that. But I don't know. I kind of think it's an algorithm.
Well, how complex can an algorithm be that reach your mind, Cambell?
They can get pretty complex. I mean, but yeah, then that is true. Like the thinking things, and I mean, obviously we've all had it where you talk about stuff and then you get ads everywhere. But I've heard lots of people say that they've even tried it. Right? They try thinking about something and then see if it starts popping up, and it seems to, right? So, I mean, I mean, if the simulation, if we're lying in bed somewhere, right, kind of with, I don't know, something on our head that's putting us in here, then if there's a virus, then it could literally change everything, couldn't it? It can get in and read our minds maybe, and who knows? I mean, but it's definitely
I'm on board. Well, when I'm discussing AI, I have to quantify that because one of my principal messages on my channel is I believe that we're inside a construct that is controlled by a very, very ancient AI system. And but when we're talking about AI generated within the construct, I'm 100% in agreement with Cambell, because I don't believe that. Remember, we have these little fragments in these religious texts that our God is a jealous God, and remember, one of the 10 commandments, thou shalt hold no other gods before me. This is the AI speaking. It's not going to allow us to create an AI inside the AI. And the reason I want to bring this point up is because somebody just made a very, very deep statement. Martin Lefevre in the chat said AI is qualified immunity. Okay, for those that don't know, qualified immunity that he mentioned in this chat is a legal term. A legal term, qualified immunity, applies to when municipalities and different government systems can rely on a defense of not being culpable for the misdeeds and things that they have done because they have a viable excuse they have somebody, a scapegoat, to throw the blame on. It's called qualified immunity. I'm very familiar with that legal doctrine. And for AI to be qualified immunity, this guy Martin Lefevre is absolutely correct. Because from this point forward, the more AI produces images that are false narratives, false voices, new YouTube channels that it's not even a real person behind it. It's just AI generated art, narrative, script, uploads are all done by AI. ChatGPT-4 and other open AI systems, the more our society is governed by AI systems and our own rights, privileges, and immunities become curbed, the more government can always be insulated from any retaliatory legal acts of the people, because government can always use qualified immunity once that extends to the AI systems. He's right. This is where we're heading. We're heading toward a system where the government can do whatever the hell it wants to, and it can always lay blame when things go wrong on it not being a human system, but an artificial construct.
I remember seeing the deep fakes. Remember back in 2020, and that guy was doing Tom Cruise?
Yes, I've seen that.
And like back then, you could not tell. I mean, he obviously got the voice and had the mannerisms, but the face, and that was, 4 years ago pretty much. So imagine how far they've taken it. And you know, if a member of the public had access to that level, we know that, you know, in the background they had, you know, something.
Oh, they were doing it early on. They were doing it with the Queen, brother. There's no way that fucking woman was.
Yeah, and the Pope. Remember with that one with the Pope when he disappeared? So
yeah.
there's stuff everywhere. And the Mandela effect, I was listening to one on Bibles, and now in the Bible, it says when they ask God, what is your name? He actually says, my name is Jealous. Like as his name.
No, yeah, I've heard that.
I am. My name is Jealous. So
his name's Howard. No, Howard be thy name.
Howard, yeah. But I mean, it also says his name's Tetragrammaton, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I've heard that Jesus had a different name too. What Emmanuel, I think, was it? Is that right?
Isis. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, Eric Debay was saying that this, you know, he spoke this God, we'll say about the Abrahamic God, the bearded one, right? Christian God, is omnipresent. So he's everywhere and he knows everything that's going on. Yet all of this evil that's happening in the world, instantly, he's got to put on a scapegoat who is Satan. Yeah, that fucker did it. I didn't do it. Yeah, but it was you, because you're the almighty creator. And you
created everything.
Yeah, it's that fucker. All of these bad shit is scapegoat.
And then there's a whole story of, you know, he locks, you know, the devil and the fallen angels or whatever, you know, in hell for 1,000 years, and then he lets them loose to run amok, you know, on the earth for 200 years.
Right.
Like that's not a very nice God.
Hell no, it ain't.
No. Not very nice. Full stop. If we piss him off enough, he'll just flood out to all of us and kill us all. Except for one.
That's that little bastard that popped out of that burning bush and passed out all those tiny hats. That's the worst God around.
Yeah, man, the burning bush.
You know what bush that was, don't you? Wink, wink. So we have got loads of questions. Somebody was just asking you about the 138 number miracle, really, that is in the structure of the Great Pyramid of Giza, because it's like, you know, I don't believe in coincidences, and that just can't be. So that was put into the building of it, which is fantastical in itself. But that shit went down.
Yeah, well, 138 is the closest approximate that we can get in whole math to the fine structure constant. And the Phoenix phenomenon operates on the fine structure constant. So it's not a surprise to me to find that everywhere in the Great Pyramid.
Did you know, Jason, someone in one of my chats a week ago or so said that the Phoenix years, if you add up all the numbers, you know, take them down to a single digit, they actually go 369, 369, 369. I
have seen that. The same person probably showed me that too. Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Ion Karios is asking Jason, is there any allowance for AI constructed buildings holographic to physical existing? Does that mean built by AI within here?
Well, I mean,
I've seen buildings show up.
everything, right? Everything.
We've already, all three of us before in the past have already theorized that some of these ruins that we have found, that we have researched, are 3D printed by a technology that has either been suppressed, kept secret, or has been lost. I mean, so some of these things have just been, they're so anomalous. So I don't know. Some of these cathedrals, I'm not buying the story of how they were built. I've been going through, Big John just finished over 3,700 new images to the Archaix library. And like Martin, next time you're in the States, I'm going to give you another drive full of all these images. They are all out of these books, and all the books I've got boxed up. None of these have been affected by AI. These are original pictures, and some of the things I'm starting to show a few of them on my channel now, but some of these pictures are amazing. I mean, I don't even know how the hell they built structures like this 600 and 700 years ago. It's amazing, dude.
It's the old world is so much like that, isn't it? You get to a point where it's just all so, there's no explanation for any of it, especially with the cathedrals. They love to talk about sacred geometry and maths and all this, but they never get into anything practical, like how they actually physically did it. So the past looks like, I mean, it's like that thing, right? None of us can prove that we weren't just put here 5 minutes ago with all our memories intact, right? You can't prove that. So is that what history is? We all came at some point, and the rest, it was just, the background, right? The scene for the movie kind of thing. And then the set, right? And what are we in now? We're in a reset. They're just changing the set, right?
Yeah, no shit.
Somebody pointed that out in one of my videos like 2 or 3 days ago. The video I did before the Matrix video decode. Somebody has said, "Hey, Jason, it's not research. Oh, really? It's all about the search." And it's not. And it says, and the more you search, you're going to find out that it's not about resets. It's about the set. I was like, wow, that's a pretty interesting way of looking at that. So,
yeah. It's like that show you did on the Matrix. And do you know the question, Neo? What is the question? The question is, what is the Matrix? So, I mean, ultimately, it's what the hell is going on? What's the source here? What is this place? Is really the ultimate question, because we can, we've been going, 4 years, right? And, with history, we're not any closer at all, really, to any kind of answer.
Well, my closest approximation is we're all dead.
Yeah,
we all died, and we're in some sort of.
We died in 2012 or something, and we're in the replay version, or it's
earlier than that.
Earlier,
and they just be running.
Oh, because was it you that was talking about? Was it you that was talking about? Someone said something in one of your comments about a date, and did you notice a change? And you,
yes,
you were saying you did,
So what he said to me, come up to me outside San Diego. I don't know whether you've seen him, Jason. He was dressed like a wizard.
I did see that dude.
That dude. So I spoke to him, and he was proper smart. Yeah, he was an eccentric.
I have a picture of him. I have him on video. You spoke to him. Big John and Jahara had a mission. Their mission, because we've seen a couple of the same faces at 2 previous meetups. They had a mission to film every single person in the line coming in and out of the building, because we wanted to compare the faces, and we found 2 people that have been to every single Archaix meetup, but they don't engage in the chat. They don't show up on anywhere. They don't introduce themselves. They didn't buy any merchandise. They didn't come out and handshake anybody. They didn't want to be known, but they've been to every one of our meetups, man. So every meetup we go to, we get pictures of everybody now.
Yeah, they just stay quiet, don't they? And they just don't interact. But this guy was smart, and he said to me, "Do you remember something happening on the 4th of July, 2012?" I was like, "I don't know, mate. What day was that?" And I think that was the Sunday anyway. But he said, "Well, I remember the sky just cracking open, and then just like a flash, and then that was it." I was like, and then I went to discard it for a second, and then I just had like a flash in my mind of like the sky just cracking open. I was like, "Whoa, did I just remember something?" Schism, like the schism of 1902. A schism is a possibility, like a wave goes through, everything fucking changes, man. How do we even know? Because that happened when we're asleep. What happens when we're asleep anyway? What the fuck is that? Why do we have to turn off our avatar for X amount of hours a day? I think it's
So
more
they
than
can
just
rearrange the buildings.
Sorry?
Right? So they can rearrange the buildings and put people in different positions and circumstances, man. Dark City.
Dark City. No Shell Beach, brother, right? I literally, right, there was a street in my city, right, and this big fucking tower block came out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere, to the point that I went into a pub on the corner and asked the boy in there, I said, did you see that being built? And he stopped and he looked and he went, actually, no, I never. I was like, you haven't seen that? He said, I never noticed it being built. I was like, what? He said, no, I never. I said, if you were in your long, he said, yeah, man, I never noticed it being built. You must do it. And then he even said, which I thought was dopey, you must do it at night. I was like, right. I was just like, well, there's something weird going on there.
Yeah. Well, like we all know about selective hearing, right? And we all, talk about, they can't literally, people can't hear things, like, they tune it out. But do we ever talk about selective seeing, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Our brain, if it's not there, we know that we only process. I mean, I don't know the percentage, but a very small percentage
I think that's bullshit.
Of all the incoming information. That's what they say because there's so much, and so when you look at things, your mind will cut stuff out and basically just show you what you want to focus on, what you're thinking about. So, who knows, maybe they use that against us. Maybe that's going on, and if they do things, surreptitiously and don't make a fuss about it, then maybe we don't really see it, right? Because our reticular activating system is just trying to point out what we want to go in the direction we need to go. So, we don't even see the world as it is, really. Well, based on secondhand information, right?
Yeah.
But
hey, you guys know that the movie you just talked about, Dark City, so awesome how it was all about what was it, Crystal Beach or what? Some type of
Shell
Beach.
Shell
Beach, all about Shell Beach. Have you ever been to Shell Beach and all that? Listen, Dawn and I sat down and watched a movie because everybody's been telling us about it. It's an old movie too. As a matter of fact, this movie was filmed at the exact same time as Dark City, and Dark City in this movie were filmed at the same time as The Matrix. This is the movie The 13th Floor.
I've seen it.
Oh yes.
It's the
first time I've ever seen it. They go all the way to the edge. They always go all the way to the edge and see the simulation and all that. Then he finds out he's in the simulation. After he has to
simulation within a simulation.
They're in a simulation. And at the very end of the movie, he escapes the simulation because he goes with her. He trades consciousness with her asshole husband who dies in the sim. He stays there and he jacks into his avatar. Now he's out of the simulation. Do you know what year it says on that newspaper when he escaped the simulation?
Oh gosh, let me take a wild guess. 2043.
June. It said June 21st, 2024.
Oh really? Oh my gosh.
That's the summer solstice. Don and I looked at it, and I just went straight over to my computer and posted it in Facebook last night.
Okay, that's they live as well. 2024.
That's crazy. All three of those movies kind of touch up on the idea that we're in a simulation.
Yeah. And obviously,
you can't prove it though, but I've taken substances which sort of get you break it. You can break this. You can see it. You can see the geometry. You can see it. It looks like fucking technology. It looks
even
like
when
technology.
Even when you just close your eyes, you see geometry, right? You see all those weird sort of Mandela geometry type things, and ultimately, if everything's energy, then nothing's solid. So clearly, it's a simulation of some kind, right?
But if you go what science says, nothing ever touches anything else in this place.
Exactly.
I've never touched another human being. This cup is not touching that.
You've never touched anything.
Bouncing off one another. It's whatever. They can't. They say there's nothing actually out there. Is there any external world? It all is mind. We can't prove it's not because.
Well, this is the biggest thing, right? Life is inside out, man. It's on the inside.
We got our own universes. There's no doubt about that. No, I don't think of many people. I think like me, a couple maybe, but we all got our own interpretation of reality, haven't we? And our own way of thinking. All of us are different.
Yeah, we say it right. They're in their own little world, and they literally are. Everyone sees the world differently, I think.
My mother always said that about me. Oh, him, he's in a world of his own.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. And then that's why people remember the past differently. You know, two people can be in the same situation and, you know, get totally different results from it, you know, and it's because we have these lives and we all take on certain things and certain beliefs, which, you know, basically give us the things that we see, I think. And so we just build this perspective up. And that's why some people, when they're 50, they're walking around with their head over and, you know, their shoulders slouched and the world hates them and other people are laughing and, you know, living their best life ever. And other people are out there trying to start fights because, you know, I mean, it's just, yeah. So it's clearly not one world because we're not all acting the same, right? We clearly don't perceive it the same. So it's, yeah, man, it's a simulation of some kind. I just don't know. Don't know what's on the outside. Like, are we all lying in some kind of bed or something with our thing on our heads, or is it a game like, you know, 13th floor and we just sort of pop
feels
back out
like a game, you know? I'm supposed to be the internet worm in the Illuminati cards, yeah? I'm supposed to like fuck the whole thing up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And coincidentally, you know, I'm just saying. So I really think that there's players in it. I think that this is all important, and I don't know what exactly is going on, but it's just feel.
I mean, see, time, right? Time doesn't exist. What's that movie with DiCaprio where they go down through their dreams?
Oh, Inception,
right? And they get to that place where and they live a whole lifetime in this bottom realm, and then when they come back up, it's been like 5 minutes. You know, so there's that. This could literally be a game that we jack into, but more a game obviously for growth and learning. And this could be a 5 minute of our actual life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we just
interesting what Jason said about, like, you know, another consciousness in another body. You know, what if they could do that? You had a healthy body, somebody who was a bit fucked, maybe health, and then you could just download their consciousness. But what would happen to the consciousness from there? There'd be residue.
Maybe. What if someone's gone and stolen our actual real avatar and pushed us down?
Oh yeah, I thought I was cloned because I've always I fell asleep somewhere on a train or on a plane, man, coming from America or something. But I've always had a hair grown out on my forehead by there. It's fucking not there anymore.
You had a what? A hair growing out of your head, did you say?
Yeah, just one hair out of one follicle on my forehead. There, it comes out like one fucking hair. And if I don't pull it out, it goes like that. It's like really weird. Oh.
I'm definitely on board with the whole, like the old Atari systems. You guys remember the old Atari systems with the joystick?
2600, yeah.
We didn't have Bluetooth back then in the private sector, so you had to plug your joystick into the Atari box.
Yeah.
And you had a little square platform with one red button and a joystick. Remember? So, okay, what if the avatar, which is on the screen, is controlled, and the certain central nervous system is the Atari box and the joystick? And what if it's as simple as this? The reason you can't control my avatar on the screen is because you're holding the wrong joystick. But if I unplugged my joystick, it would leave that port open and you could put your joystick in there. And then all of a sudden, now you can control my avatar. That's my avatar. I created it, but now you're in control of it. It could be something as simple as that. And this may be why we even have these unusual and very weird character traits that are suddenly just appearing in like famous people who are doing things or saying things that they've never said or done before. And it could literally be something as simple as that. It's impossible for two consciousnesses to occupy the same avatar without obvious destabilizing evidence, without people seeing the psychoses, without seeing the internal struggle for them to maintain their presence. However, if there's a technology out there that could unplug somebody's consciousness from the central nervous system and sync somebody else's conscious, that could explain a lot of these Hollywood elites and these politicians acting very unusual as opposed to the way they previously acted. It's just an idea. I don't know. I'm just saying
it sounds like schizophrenia. What if schizophrenias will actually be in, maybe they got just another entity inside them at the same time, another presence.
There's two people on the couch fighting for the joystick.
Yeah.
And that's also like why they don't want us to know who we are, right? They don't want us to ask these big questions and take control of our own joystick, because if we do that, they can't plug in. So, I mean, it sort of makes sense that way as well, right? They want us to all be asleep at the wheel, as they say, right? So they can just come in, jack in and do their stuff.
Yeah. Like in the movie The Matrix, the Agent Smiths were they're sentient programs.
Yeah.
But what if that's just Hollywood creative license and the technology is actually available to where somebody can literally become Brooke Shields? If they can ever get her into the appropriate chamber to remove her consciousness, and it might be something as simple as the only way to actually inside the sim remove somebody's consciousness from an avatar is if another avatar is immediately available for the transfer. You understand? So
yeah.
I've been thinking a lot of things about I try to incorporate everything into my paradigm. I don't want to compartmentalize my mysteries. And if I'm seeing unusual behavior in famous people on the news and things that are being reported, and I don't know, man, sometimes it makes me wonder if it's the same personalities that are controlling like 200 different Hollywood elite.
Yeah.
It's not nearly as many people that you think. I mean, because there's all kinds of crazy shit going on. Look at the P Diddy stuff going down. The black community in Hollywood is now being just tore apart right now. Will Smith, Jada Smith, that preacher T.D. Jakes was taking it up the butt at a party and got caught. Now P Diddy's being they say now they're prosecuting him for the murder of Tupac, and they're saying he probably killed Biggie as well. All this just exploded in the last 2 or 3 days, and it's like the whole black community has risen up against these people that have been leading the black community for 20 years.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot that it's coming out that they're all starting to realize that hip hop and all this rap stuff is not good for them, right? Like it was implemented as a psyop to turn them all into gangsters, right, and get them to kill each other, basically. So it's good to see they're starting to sort of see that as well.
See Beyonce know-alls, or boy once know-alls. It's like, what about Nicole Kidman? I was like, yeah, well. Beyonce Noel said that when she went on stage, she said that she was taken over by some sort of spirit. She even got a name for it because of S.
Yeah. Oh, what's her name? Yeah. She's got a name. Yeah, for her stage presence.
So what is this same spirit, whatever this spirit is? Because I have noticed something that Jason just mentioned. I've noticed a similarity and also something else as well. A ring. I noticed the lead singer of Depeche Mode. I noticed that Michael Hutchins, and I noticed another half a dozen singers have all got this big chunky silver fucking ring on this finger here. It's like, I wonder again on that. And they all say that they get like a feeling of the being possessed when they go on stage, especially, people who are big, the greatest showman of ever, like, fucking Freddie Mercury, and, well, Beyonce now, isn't it? What she does when she's, whatever it is, when it's a stage, it's like, can a human being do that for them hours? What about Mick Jagger? Now, Jason, you mentioned
80, man.
But you mentioned the London School of Economics, and I just found out, right, that Monica Lewinsky was in there, Mick Jagger was in there, and the current Prime Minister of Britain, Sonia, he was also in London. It's like, so was George Soros.
So was George Soros. So was Zechariah Sitchin. So was Graham Hancock. They all come out of the London School. Again, that's why I know Graham Hancock will never, ever debate me at all, because that man doesn't know shit. He is given these books. He's given these scripts. He's told to read them, memorize them, and then go on the lecture circuit. That man didn't write any of those books. That man is, every time I listen to him, he is nowhere near as intelligible as what I've read from his material. His material, I believe his books were CIA written. It was probably CIA AI programs that wrote his books. But that man, I'm never going to stop shutting up about Graham Hancock. All of 2024, I'm dedicating to Graham Hancock. I'm just as soon as I get up off of Billy Carson.
Maybe you get to debate him one time on Joe Rogan. You never know. Now, wouldn't that be good?
I don't think he'll be debating, but I just can't believe that his last tour he was charging $800 US for a ticket. Like what?
He was when we were all in San Diego, he was right down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, we even allowed people who showed up when we did our little deal in San Diego, a lot of stragglers that came late, we didn't even take the money at the door. John was just letting them in because they weren't there to start the show. And we were almost full, so man, y'all just come on in. Right down the street, Graham Hancock's lying to everybody, but charging $800 to listen to it.
It's crazy, man. I mean, all these, yeah. But it's interesting about celebrities because, you know, the truth is we don't see celebrities very often. Like if you got all the clips of a celebrity in a year, you might end up with a couple of hours of their life. So we don't know what they're doing.
No, we don't,
for the vast majority of their life. Are they in cryo chambers waiting for the...
Well,
you know,
I noticed they don't match, Cambell, because the early Madonna was a clever, intellectual, articulate lady. And now she's a fucking retard. What the fuck happened?
Have you seen the latest one of her in concert? And she's
don't
like
even talk about that.
Trying to dance.
Yeah. Oh, sick. I vomited a little in my mouth. Yeah.
I know. I'm back in the 80s. She was like, oh, she's hot now.
Jagger as well. Yeah, back in the day, honest to God, right? I'm not even a big Stones fan, but he was fucking cool, especially in that Allman thing. You know, when the bikers stabbed that guy to death? That was, that video on that. That's a psyop. Definitely a psyop. Right?
That was Death of Hippie, yeah.
Listen,
yeah, I'm
going to introduce a little trauma to you guys because I've been traumatized by it. And I'm going to go ahead and share that with you guys because I need you to feel my pain, man. But somebody sent me some compelling information that at first I just put it to the side. I didn't want to entertain that. I didn't want to entertain that at all. But I'm going to tell you now, when I was in prison, I had a hell of a crush on Scarlett Johansson. Every movie, magazines I've seen her in. Oh man, I thought back then she might have been the love of my life. We just ain't met yet. So,
that's a really good choice.
Then
do you know there's one film you get to see her naked?
Hold on. Then somebody told me, started sending me some stuff that's kind of opened my eyes. I'm like, damn, man, why did you do that? Now I go back and watch, and even with Dawn, I'm sitting there watching Scarlett Johansson, and I can't unsee it now. I just can't unsee it now that it's been brought to my attention.
Oh, no.
Almost every time the camera is on Scarlett Johansson, they always do it at different angles to make her look petite, make her look smaller than everybody else. And then we started looking at the actors her that are in the movies with her. They're all small men. So I'm looking at her skeletal, her skull, and her head's bigger than almost every male on the set. And I'm like, what the? I can't believe I've never noticed this until somebody showed it to me. But all evidence shows that she was one of those gender switches. She was born a male and then was raised a female. Listen, I can't understand now. Every time, every movie reveals it. Every movie gives it up. You'll see Scarlett Johansson's next to another male, and her skeletal structure is bigger, thicker. Everything about it's like, wow, how did I miss this? Now it's the same thing as Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is a male. He was born a male. But what I'm saying is for years,
the camera angles.
Yeah, for years we were all convinced he was much bigger.
He was tall. Yeah,
we were all convinced that he was average size and not little bitty tiny. It is the camera angles. The fucking camera angles make these guys look huge.
Yeah, they put the camera down and point it upwards, and because so many of the big actors are tiny.
Yeah,
like they are.
Well, Alan Ladd, do you know him? Cheryl Ladd's father from Charlie's Angels. No, they say that she's a fella. Alan Ladd, he was Shane in the Western. Shane. No, apparently he stood on a box to kiss his ladies. He used to stand on a box.
Tiny,
he was that little. Yeah.
Yeah. What about Taylor Swift? Like she's 5'11". Check out photos of her. She's always the tallest person in the room, pretty much.
I don't know, man, because I remember when she debuted.
Really big hands.
I know. I remember when she debuted, and she was like a little flat-chested little girl. And when she first started singing, and she was singing her heart out on nothing but country music. I don't know. For her, I don't see male in that at all.
No, not me.
But I don't know. Who knows? I mean, you just don't know. I remember one I looked at because, you know, the story goes that these families only really have to do it with one child, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever
Well,
seen?
we can't even rely on defense anymore. That that's just bullshit. Somebody's making all this sensationalism.
That's
No, we
true.
can't rely on that no more because it is conclusively
Well,
proven.
there's the things like the
Big Mike is a guy. Michelle Obama is Michael Obama, and now everybody knows it. And several actors have come out and even said it and got punished.
They're
for
Joan
it.
Rivers, and she's like, "Oh, I had a terrible like dental accident or something."
Well, now the college pictures are circulating, showing him when he and Obama were in college, and both of them are just guys hanging out.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's why I remember when Obama was in that, they put a lot of focus into saying that Michelle was big into gym work, and that's why she was so broad and buff, you know, because she was at the gym every day. Like they literally put work into trying to explain her physique.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some, you know, I mean, I was going to say like Tommy Lee. Do you remember Tommy Lee, the drummer from?
Yeah, man. We used to go with Pamela Anderson, didn't he?
Yeah. He was with her for a bit. Yeah. Have you ever seen his sister? His sister looks like his brother, man. So I think in a lot of these families that they put out one, but we might not get the changed one. I've got to be careful with our language, right? But then their siblings, right? Maybe it's one of their siblings that's gone through the change because, like I said, as far as I know, they only have to do one child. It's not like everyone that's born to them is switched. Right. And then again, now we've got them all doing it to their kids, right? And they're adopting kids in other countries, bringing them back and changing their gender, man.
Yeah. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't have anything to do with if they look masculine or not. The height doesn't matter. I mean, we got Norwegian women on average are very, very tall. You know what I mean? Yeah. Women from Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, but there's just other characteristics.
Yeah, man. So the belt of Autonomous.
Yeah, you got, and they're real prominent in the skull. The rest of the anatomy is virtually the same, except, women and men don't really have much difference in hips, but it only looks that way because women have very small rib cages. Males have large rib cages. The large rib cage goes straight down the sides of the hips. But with females, they got a real small rib cage, so it looks like their hips are a lot wider. So those are the only two major. The skull and the rib cage are only two major indicators between a male and a female.
There's the clavicles. A male's clavicle goes up and then down, and a female's goes down and then up. And also, clavicles are different. And also, they call it the belt of Adonis. You know, when you see a dude who's really buff and he's got his six-pack and they basically have like the six-pack up the middle and those two bits on the side, the muscle bits that sort of come down. That's because we have different hips. Like a female literally can't get that look. But then you go and look at pictures of Pink and stuff, and it's like, hang on. How did you get that done? So because it's all the way that the muscles fix into the hips. So there's a few around, like belly buttons on females are higher, but I mean, a lot of this can be manipulated too. But the thing is, we just don't know, right? That's the main thing. We just, oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, man. Look at the jaw on Julia Roberts. She looks like Roger Ramjet.
Well,
Come on.
Did you know that? Have you heard I think it's 128. Like she was, the Big Mike and Barry's last movie, the Leave the World Behind, and Julia Roberts was the main player.
Yeah, with Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke, and Julia Roberts was the wife, and there was that big Friends theme through it. The daughter was into Friends.
Yeah.
And then remember the dude from Friends died. What was his name? Something. He died. He died on Julia Roberts' birthday, and they used to date. And her birthday is the same date, I'm pretty sure, as the movie was released. So there's all this encoding and all this stuff in there as well.
Wow.
So,
yeah. Well, I mean, we can talk about appearances ad infinitum, but the truth is, a lot of males have fooled people and people were fooled. I mean, there's no question about it. No matter what somebody's skeletal structure, no matter how they carry themselves, whatever their gait is, there are people, at least right here in the United States, that live as females who are born male, and they have been fooling people, and they do it. So the obverse is equally true. I understand there's all kinds of differences in the anatomy and bone structure and all that, but it doesn't stop clothing from hiding a lot of that stuff and fooling people. So
yeah, you wouldn't believe it though, Jason. I was in Hamburg when I was in the Merchant Navy, right? And I went into this bar, and there was literally a topless barmaid, right, in a G-string. Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, look at it. I was like, oh, thank you. It's like that. And we're just walking down the bar, and I'm looking like that, and the other person was behind that came over and said to me, "That's a fella. That's a man." I was like, how could that be? He said he tucks it away. I was like, tucks it away.
What are you talking about? Tucks it away.
I was like, there's no way. You would never, honestly, you would never have fucking known. You would never have known. It was just, it completely fooled me. I was like, no fucking way. No way.
But that's like, look at all the, what they call them, the girly boys or whatever from Thailand.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them haven't had any work done, you know, they haven't had anything snipped off. But I mean, some of those, like, it's like, oh my God.
Hell yeah. I wonder how many David Carradine got a hold of before he realized they were guys.
Wow. Oh, Kung Fu.
Did he string himself up? He died, didn't he? Was it from that weird thing they do with their neck and I don't want to mention it, but like Michael Hutchins.
Got killed in Kill Bill. Everyone's seen that. The death pinch. Yeah, she pinched him and he died like a couple of weeks later. You can do that. Anyone can do that. It's like just go like, I just death pinched you. And sometime in the future, you will die.
Yeah. It was Bruce Lee, man. It just took like 30 years to affect him.
Yeah, say, Martin, when you get off the show or later on in your free time, you need to look at that. It is becoming a circus with this TD Jakes swindled, Christian preacher in the black community, been leading the black community and all that. Oh man, this dude got caught red-handed. TD Jakes. So him and P. Diddy, you need to check it out, man, because this whole thing, man, now they're calling out Jada and Will Smith, and now they've sucked what's that little short comedian, the little black dude?
That insipid guy. What's his name? I can't watch him. I know exactly who you're on about.
He's funny, but he's what's his name?
Yeah, Chris Rock.
No, it ain't Chris Rock. It's somebody else.
The other one.
No, I know exactly what you're on about.
Martin.
He's a little stocky dude.
Is it Martin? I think it's a Martin.
No, he's a little stocky guy. Yeah,
no, he's off.
Kevin Hart. Someone's got it.
Kevin Hart. Now they pulled Kevin Hart and some others in on it. Look, man, this is turning into the black episode of Epstein Island.
Oh,
yeah. That's what it's turning into. They're just giving each other up now. Yeah.
This came off that Cat Williams interview that it came out, and that interview hit 17 million views in one day with Cat Williams, and he was basically just exposing everyone. He was just not holding back at all, and it's kicked off this whole thing now. Like they said 2024, right? I mean, I can't believe we're only like not even 3 weeks into this year, man, and I've been in
Did you see in Miami, all of them police turn up and they said it was
the 8-foot alien.
There's supposed to be a grey alien running around. It's caught on some footage. That's a push for some fake alien agenda shit show.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. Was the whole thing staged just to put out the whole alien agenda? And there's a lot of cop cars, but doesn't mean
I've seen 2 interviews on TikTok. I don't look on TikTok, but they came up on my Facebook. And one guy was reading a script, no doubt about it. He said, I looked over it, the grey look or whatever it was, this creature looked straight at me. And he just kept looking left because he was basically reading her off a script that somebody had given him. So none of it seemed viable. None of it seemed credible. The statements was just
they're definitely pushing that agenda, man.
Well, I'm going to tell you now, 2024 is going to get super ramped up.
Super weird.
In about 2 months. I mean, you guys know chronology is my thing, and then that goes hand in hand with calendrical systems. So technically, our 2024 isn't going to begin until the vernal equinox.
Yeah.
The real year is 5917 right now. It's not going to flip over to 5918 where things get real crazy 5918 is in 2 more months, vernal equinox. So
March 21st, is it?
I mean, yeah, because I mean, take in mind, it's real easy to understand. It's super easy to understand. The last 4 months of our modern day calendar still carry over the ancient system in name. And what I mean is September, October, November, and December literally are the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th months. You understand? But in Latin, they are 9, 10, 11, and 12. But they're not named that way. They're actually December is 10, Novi 11, and then Octo is 8. So Septi is 7. So the actual 11th month is January. The 12th month is February, and then that's how it actually. See, the ancient system is carried over into the modern system numerically, but they hid it in Latin. They hid it in Latin.
Okay.
So this is in the ancient world, almost all calendrical systems started with the vernal equinox. That was New Year's Day for the new calendar. The spring began the year, and the year ended right before the vernal equinox. So this is when shit's gonna get crazy after the vernal equinox. And after the vernal equinox also begins the 33rd Olympiad, and this is when everything is going to take off.
Where's it to?
This is the 33rd Olympiad. It starts on the vernal equinox. The Olympiads are 4-year are calendar periods based off 4-year periods. It's when all U.S. presidential elections happen. It's when Bitcoin always makes its rise every 4 years, and a whole bunch of wallets follow suit. It's a 4-year cycle that the elite live by. And every ceremony for all the Olympic, that basically was showing the future and all that. All these weird Olympic ceremonies are every 4 years. The Olympics plays out every 4 years. This is the year crazy shit happened. The last time we had a year like this was 2020.
Well, in Britain at the moment in the news, they're sort of painting that we're virtually on the verge of fucking war with Iran, apparently. And it's not like they asked, the population of Britain, do they want to go to war? So there are war drums, but there are always war drums. But they have seemed to be heating up in the last couple of days. Now, they're threatening, they're saying, oh, well, if they cyber attack us, we're going to blow them out of existence, because that's some of the threats. So there's all that unfolding, but it's all mainstream bollocks. You don't know what to believe, but it's still up there in the ether that, that's something they don't want to fuck with, because I'm telling you what, Persia, they're fucking rich as fuck. Their whole structure, their streets, their highways, everything looks like America in Iran. Yeah, these ain't no poor backward fucking people. They got like an infrastructure. They got shit.
Well, I mean, their influence is far beyond their borders. If the Muslim imams and all that declare holy jihad against the West, it can only be done from Iran.
Well, they operate out of that.
If Iran does that, the entire Muslim world's going to take off and just start doing all kinds of terroristic attacks and shit.
Well, there's definitely a psyop out there at the moment. It's not deep inside the rabbit hole anymore. It's deep inside the rabbi hole, as we all know.
No.
They're not shit eaters, they're shit cheaters. Sorry, but they put that out there. And I can't believe that they put that photograph out there with them people carrying that mattress. It just seems too unreal. It has to be set up. It has to be, for the camera had to be there and then that. It's just, why would they give themselves away as something so fucking sinister as that? What's the wider agenda with that? So crypto Jews and all the rest of it, they love to hate on themselves. This is part of their agenda with it all, to get that sympathy base going against, how bad it all is. But with that's different. I can't work it out really, why they would do that in an agenda.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a good point, because it's definitely been pushed out as a massive story, isn't it? And we know that that means that they want it out there. So, I mean, it could just be to cause more division, right? We've got this, Palestine-Israeli thing going on. It could just, to get the people fighting against each other, because, everyone's sort of looks like they're going pro-Palestine at the moment. So like, oh, here you go. Here's some proof that you can really hate these people. And of course, we all know that the Jews that we're talking about aren't the Jews that is the everyday Jew. Like there's different types of Jews.
No doubt.
Agreed. I included that in my first book, Crypto Jews. I talked about them quite a lot. You know, the Rothschilds, they weren't exactly the Red Shields. They weren't like Jewish by blood, but they certainly were because they were crypto.
Yeah, this guy in your chat named T Desin. What is that? T Desin? T Design? Oh, Design. It's just a weird way to spell it. He says,
yeah,
apparently,
UK just handed 12 billion to the Ukraine, and everyone's on the fucking street. Drives me insane. That makes my blood fucking boil if that's true. I know I can't prove if that's true. It's just numbers on the screen. But the fucking state of this country, I've been here 56 years, and this is fucked. Everybody who I speak to, what are we going to do? I don't fucking know. They do it for consent. They're all going to agree with it. Nobody's going to go on one big fuck off strike and say, no, we're not doing it anymore. Nobody's going to do a goddamn thing. They're scared. In Britain, they're scared. Yeah. Whatever's happened, this corporate thing, yeah, where everyone's being gaslit, everyone's being bullied. This country is a scary place to be. And it's not just here, it's everywhere. Everyone's looking to get out. We're on our way to fucking Africa. It's better there, apparently. It's that bad, yeah. And everyone in Britain will tell you this is true.
No, I want to draw attention to this dude, man. T Design in the comment section. He said, apparently 170 airstrikes and only 5 dead bodies is BS. Iran bought their nukes from Israel in 1983, identifying their friends. Now, I don't know who T Design is, and I don't know what the extent of his information, but I'm going to tell you now that this right here is something I can accept to be true because I understand the role of Iran. Iran is the seat of the ancient exilarchy. On my .tv channel, I go into great detail on the Jewish histories and who's really running the show, and it's never been Jerusalem. It's never been Israel. The shots are called out of ancient Persia, and the Sanhedrin Council is called in Persia is called the exilarchy, the seat of the exilarchy. They're the ones that call the shots all over the world for these people, and they're seated not in Israel, they're seated in Iran, and they're Jews. So this, so I can agree with that. All this Iran is the enemy is all smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors, man.
Sure, they're all in it together, as we well know.
Yeah, man, they've got some meetings, and Iran. It's so far away, isn't it? Iran.
But that is the question. It is a lot, but a serious question, man. I think, on everybody's lips is, and I've seen it on even posts this week, and it is shared, is what next? What can everybody do? You know, the world is going to shit in a handbag. We can all see it's out of control. It was bad before, but now it's apparent, isn't it?
Well,
so
it's a good question. Like, who's creating this? I mean, it's been my opinion for a while that they put all this information out because they're not the creators, right? We are, and it's just to affect our minds so that we create the reality that they want. So, you know, with that in mind, like all this stuff, everyone's been talking, you know, all this stuff's going to happen. Like, if we all believe that, are we creating it? Can we create something different? Is, I guess, the big question, right? If we focus on something different, because I'm not spending
much negativity though, Cambell. Like Jason said in his Vanna vlog, since he's mentioned it, I'm encountering it a lot. And I'm like, well, I'm glad you brought that to my attention because you bang on there. This is how many people go to a negative default. It's like instantly they'll cook up a problem and they'll just curse them fucking selves. And I just don't get it. I'm not wired that way. I don't know why they would do it.
There's two worlds, right? There's a collective thought that creates the collective world we all inhabit, but we all have our own little world as well, you know, that we can alter. And I heard you say something the other day, Jason. I can't remember what it was, but basically, like if we're in a simulation and we understand that we are, then we're basically not under its rules anymore. We can do with it what we want.
I agree. I agree so much that I'm going to tell you now. I agree so much that I would not even be surprised, Cambell, that you and Martin and I will be doing another video 1 year from now, just like this, and people will be listening to us talk in retrospect about, man, wasn't that crazy when the Olympic ceremony went off and all these Muslims all over the UK just took off, started burning shit, and then everybody was getting scared of the United States when New York erupted in violence and California erupted in violence, and then wasn't it so weird how all of a sudden Germany and France and all these riots are taking place, and within 2 days everybody realized the Muslims aren't attacking the people that live in those countries, they're burning synagogues. But that's not what the news is reporting. You understand? It's all attack on Jews in all these different countries, not on attack on the individuals that are here. It is an Islamic purge in response to a jihad that is called from Iran to basically exterminate these people in all these countries. I have no doubt we'll be talking about this probably by the end of the year. Like, man, wasn't that crazy how the Olympics just erupted with all this bullshit? But it was all called. Because this is exactly what the second horseman of the apocalypse is when you break it down in Greek. It's a whole bunch of Islamic small arms daggers going off everywhere in thousands of locations at the exact same time. This is what we're expecting this year, guys. It's going down, but it's not going to affect us. It's only going to affect the perimeters of our existence, just like COVID did. It will result in the same thing. Yep. No travel restrictions, lockdowns for security measures. But just like COVID, after 18 months, almost everything was back to normal.
Yep.
After 18 months, almost everything was back to normal, and we pretty much forgot all about it, and that was it. I mean, in retrospect, I think it's crazy because at the height of COVID in 2020, I was releasing videos telling everybody that I've looked at the calendrics on this, and this is very short term. But everybody was opposed to me. Man, people used to blow up my comment sections talking about, you're a dumbass. You're stupid as hell believing in that shit. This is the new normal. This is once the elite change something, it stays changed forever. We're never going to have our freedoms back. And everything was undone 18 months later. And you know what? I got no apologies for these people. None of these people came back and said, hey, Jason, you were right. Instead, I'm still stupid for something new I said. It never ends.
Well, I mean, I don't see why all these people fight for their slavery, right? I mean, it's just crazy. Like,
well, it's because there's a saying,
I'm a slave, I'm controlled.
Wear it. They're just scared, they're locked into their morgue age, which you're never going to pay. And it's just the fear of my family, my children, and all. They're all locked into that. And it's just like this trap that they all got,
And they've been controlled their whole lives. And so that to them, they don't necessarily like it, but it's safe, right? It's familiar. So it's easier to just keep being controlled than to stand out on the edge and go, hang on, you guys are all slaves.
Shit. Well, Jason talks about liminal spaces. And since I watched the video the other day, I realized I've actually been living there my entire life. I mean, I've been in the fringes and like on the outskirts and on the outside my entire life. And I'm literally, I'm not there unless I want you to see me. I'll be literally turn up next to people and they jump like that. It's like, where the fuck did you come from? I was like, I was there all the time,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've always felt like a watcher, like I'm just sort of an observer of this realm. It's like that saying, right? Be in the world, but not of the world.
Yeah, I never spoke for years once when I was young. My friend Steve asked me, he said, you just don't talk anymore, man. You just sit and you just listen. He said, I'm just learning. I was at that stage in my life where I was just learning about stuff and picking up and,
Me too, man. I never got it. I just didn't understand why people would go off on certain things and everyone would act the same. That's what really got me. It's like,
I've seen that today.
The whole concept of cool. Like people become cool because they're different, right? They're the only one wearing that jacket or singing that song, whatever. And then everyone thinks, oh, I want to be cool, so I'll copy that person. Everyone starts doing it, and then everyone does it, and then it's no longer cool. So the poor cool dude's like, oh, now I've got to go buy another jacket.
I had the first year in my school, man, right? And me and my friend Billy, I was like 11-year-old skinhead, innit? And they had us on stage in front of 1,200 pupils, grabbing my ear and saying these words. Look at these two little gay boys here. Look what they've done to themselves. Can you imagine if they'd done that in this day and age? You'd be off to jail.
Well, now everyone's going to be cheering for you. They'd be like, yeah, we're here to support you.
1 year later, fucking nose rings. Everyone had them. It's just we was always before our time. I had the first Crombie in my school. Everyone was like, what the fuck is that? It's like, that's an Abercrombie guy. And then
I don't even know what a Crombie is.
Yeah.
What's a Crombie?
It's a skinhead coat. It's a long trench coat made of this beautiful material that smells like wet dog when it rains. And you have a little handkerchief, a red silk handkerchief by here, and it looks good with your 14-old Dr. Martens and your bleached jeans when you was marching around on seafront kicking mods.
Hey,
It's funny how everyone has their own little uniform, all these little groups.
I'm gonna run this by you. What do you think I should do about this? I got I haven't responded. I kind of just put it in Dawn's lap. Let her think about it for a while. I got a major tech company that contacted me by email, and they said, listen, we're impressed with your channel, and we want you to do something for us. We're going to give you exclusive access to our visual audio AI. It's this beautiful woman they created that's an AI.
You get it today? You get the email today?
Yes, I got it this morning.
Yeah, so did I.
Did you now?
Yes, I did.
They want us to talk to this AI on YouTube.
I deleted the fact that.
Is that what they asked you, Martin?
Yes, exactly the same.
Yeah, they want us to talk to the AI in a video on YouTube.
Yes.
And ask it anything we want to ask it. Have any
same
conversation in the world that we want to. I've been processing this because you know me. I'm gonna try and trip it up. I'm gonna start putting my questions together. But this is something that just happened this morning. I got that email. I was like, I've been thinking about it all morning. Like is this a trap, or are they just trying to show off how technologically advanced they think they are? Because I don't believe in true AI. I don't believe in that. That's the main hallmark of my channel. We're living inside a complex AI system where they're never going to allow us to create an AI inside of it.
Within an AI.
It can be convincing. The processing power can be phenomenal, and it can actually replicate sentience, but it's not actually sentient.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's just
something weird is going on. That's for sure.
So is that just? Do you think are they trying to collect information by doing that?
They can do that without our consent. They can do that without our consent.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know like what they were going to do with our voices and stuff. I don't think they like it. Mate. I don't think it's good.
You'll sound like Mickey Mouse. Hey.
I heard a voice changer on a friend of mine on a Hangout, man. And he had a voice changer, and he literally just any voice. He's just like squeaky or
really?
harsh blow. Yeah. And he's done different sort of dialects, American dialects, and it was just you would never know. If somebody had a YouTube channel and then got taken out or they got packed in or whatever, and they come back on another YouTube channel that they set up and they had a voice changer, you would never fucking know.
It's a trap.
That's interesting, right? Because I mean, it goes back to that. You know, what's real, right? They can change anything. They can change faces. You know, like even because YouTube is now the TV, right? Basically, like TV's dead, and it's one thing to keep in mind is everyone thinks, I mean, and look at the biggest YouTuber is Mr. Beast, right? Is there anything in that name? Mr. Beast.
Never heard of him.
He's got like 200 million subscribers or something stupid.
What's he do?
Oh, just dumb brain fluff. Like basically his whole channel is built on videos that are created to get people to click on and watch them. That like there's no, it's like
he gives stuff away and he does stupid pop culture type shit.
Oh, talking about Corey Feldman and stuff.
Who, Corey Feldman or Colin?
Corey Feldman.
Corey, he's crazy, that dude, man. What is going on?
That's 10 times strange right there.
He's insane. Like I think he's just MK Ultra'd and the programming's gone bad or something. Because remember when he came out a few years ago and he's like, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to.
Yeah, but when he was in the Lost Boys and he got messed around with
and that. And nothing came out. I think he was asking for money or something, wasn't he, before he said anything? It was very strange. And
obviously he's doing this weird tour where he's doing like Michael Jackson dancing, and he literally does this thing when he walks up to the microphone and he literally walks into the microphone, smacks his tooth out. But he's like that. You can argue, did he do it for comic genius effect?
Spatial
awareness should like work out after all these years or far away the fucking microphone.
I saw this video. This guy was saying that he's like, is Corey Feldman actually a genius? Because he was showing all the clips and he's like, this guy is so bad. He's like,
Did you watch Justin Hawkins from the Darkness group? I believe in a big call of love. You know the band Darkness? I believe in a thing called love.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I didn't.
Well, he
get it
does
off
these
the
little
audio.
podcasts now when he picks apart music videos, and I've just started following him. I really like the guy. He's fucking funny.
I believe
Not
in
to give
a
a
thing
shot
called
or something,
love.
he's good. But yeah, he's nice.
Yeah, man, he's Holly weird for sure. That one.
Who's that? Justin
No,
Hawkins?
like Corey.
Oh, Corey. Oh, yeah, he's Hollywood.
Feldman,
Weird.
isn't it, the one that's still alive? Because they
Yeah,
both
the one
got,
River Phoenix died, and there was all strange tales behind the making of Lost
and
Boys.
Corey Haim. There was a whole group of them, and they all
Exactly, Corey Haim. Yeah.
Yeah, man, they didn't have a good time.
Yeah.
And talking about that group, Leo, have you seen it? Don't they think Leo DiCaprio was a girl? Have you seen those pictures of him when he's young and he looks like a chick?
I've seen one of him in college, and he was with somebody really famous, but I can't, decide whether it was AI because they're putting personalities next to personalities, and I don't know what's what with them. Is that really real?
The line's getting so blurred, man, isn't it? Like they can literally
create. What were you for the last?
Be dead, and we wouldn't know.
No, what were you for the last 10 minutes? I just want to give the people an idea of what were we to look out for with this AI bullshit, guys, because some people might not know, and this thing, it's fooling a lot of people. There's supposed to be a Paris mud flood, but it's completely AI generated. People are just like, I'm gone on Facebook, and people are just happy to just share this out like it's a reality.
Yeah, man.
Which is not a good thing for the whole thing because this is the truth of movement after all.
Credits, yeah.
Yeah, and not only that, there's some that they've given entire background narratives to, and they're completely AI. Them ones from that guy went in the jungle. You seen them, Cambell? Did you?
Yeah. That was some of the first ones with those funny looking dudes.
Yeah, there's loads of these photographs, like in the past. Like, they've been fucking altering photographs as long as I can fucking look back. If you notice here, there's a border and there's a white screen. They're literally blocking out the background.
Yeah. I was looking at a few the other day, and they're old school, modifications, but they're basically standing in front of like a sheet that's had like a background painted on it, and you can see the line of going. It's crazy, but nowadays we just don't know, man. I mean, I saw, what was it? I think it was a melt. One of the melty people shared a picture, and I looked at it. It was just a composite of like all these different bits had been stuck together, and they're sharing it around like it's, people just. You've got to look into stuff, right? You've got to at least check a bit of the background and see if there's any validity to it before you start putting it out as a narrative, or else you're just being, you're just working for the controllers.
Well, you don't want to be talking bullshit and then fucking running with it. That's not a good thing, is it? Especially
if you slip over, then you get covered in bullshit, man.
Yeah, fuck that. You got to deal with it. This is an interesting photo. I wonder why she's pointing at that globe by there.
All of these heavily coded globes, they don't have our land masses on them.
No, I don't recognize absolutely anything on there.
Yeah.
I talked about this before. This is not our place. This is nothing I can see that I recognize at all. Like, it makes zero sense to me.
And there's lots of them. There's lots of those pictures with people holding those globes, and it's like,
sure. And they're not Earth stuff. And these are altered as well, because there's no way that roof is burnt out and been on fire. But then things would still be all dandy there, and they're just everywhere, and they're just too complex.
That's got a crow's nest in it, like a little basket. Yeah. That's from a ship.
No, I'm thinking this has been highlighted and added because the roof's on fire is a bit of a giveaway of why it would still be there.
I mean, that whole roof looks like it's from a different picture there.
Yeah, this looks like a stage set reality, this picture. It's like in the background, everything is smashed and ladders, and then you just got this building.
Oh, here. Wow.
Look, and this guy here, if you can mag up on him, he's got like a square thing against his ear, like a mobile device. I think the tram is electric, mind, but it's just like, it looks like a movie set.
Yeah, it's like the Cecil B. DeMille movies, right?
Yeah, you just get the fronts like they do. They build Western towns in the film.
Yeah, exactly. Whole towns.
And he's got like what looks like a mobile phone. So AI generated, difficult to say.
We just
All
don't
of
know
this.
anymore. And wow, 1,200
Well, this is
people
what
watching.
gets, Steve. This photograph is quite astonishing, really, right? It's of the expositions, as you can see. But check this chick here, right? She's got a human face, and she's meant to be a statue.
Which chick?
This one.
Yeah, man, I see it in there like that. Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah. That is
I have
bizarre.
magged up much further than this, and it's just spooky how human
right.
she looks. It's meant to be a statue. Like
Statues, man. Static hue, right? Like what's a statue? Like
oh, that's good.
Yeah, man.
I
Static,
think
like
of
when
that.
you don't move anymore. Are they just people? Like, I mean, because you look, it's like everything, right? You look at the old statues and they just get worse and worse as they go forward, right? And today, like, no one can do anything that even looks half real. So I don't know, were they, lots of questions, right? Or is it all just there to confuse us, because in a simulation, I was talking to, I think it was Widener, and he was saying if you did that, you would spend all the time on the present where people are habiting and less time on the backstory, right, the history. And so that's where you would find any mistakes would be in the history. And we find a lot of mistakes.
Like this one, all the mistakes in this thing. This bit of footage we've watched over and over. Market Street.
Yep. Jim Dillinger did a video covering this again the other day, which was pretty good.
Oh, Jim Dillinger, does he do videos?
Yeah, he's got a channel. Go and check out Jim Dillinger, everyone. He needs more subscribers. He does good stuff.
I didn't know that. He's been in my sub. He's been a sub for years, man.
Yeah. Jim's everywhere, man. He's cool. Is that a megaphone pointed at the baby?
Yeah, she's better. If you look like she's 10 types of crazy. She got 2 dolls in there. They're not even human. But there's a battery under there, under the pram. But you know, who are we to scoff? And there's the Hyperborean in a 1610 map.
Wow, man! Look how close it is out to like Canada and Asia.
Yeah, man. And like, it's crazy how it's mapped, isn't it? And they know what's there, like the pygmies and stuff.
Yeah.
And these deltas as well. Man.
I mean, is it still there? Like, that's a good question, or is it like they tell us it's just all ocean? Like, is it sunk? What do you reckon, Jace? Is Hyperborea there? Is it real?
I don't know. What am I looking at? Antarctica or the North Pole?
No, that's the North Pole, Hyperborean. That's meant to be Mount Meru in there, and there's supposed to be these 4 continents, isn't there?
Well, I have that book in my library here about that dude in 1895 that took those 2 Inuit Eskimos so far north in the Arctic, they started getting scared because they said they're getting too close to home and they've been banished and they're not allowed. And they kept going forward and it got warm. And then he got to an area where he was no longer looking at snow. He's looking at grass, fox trail. Yeah. Now there's mammals that don't even belong in the Arctic. He comes across them and he's looking down now into like a giant bowl. This is 1895 about the Arctic. And the 2 Eskimos abandoned him. They took off because they said that it's not the time for their return. They can't come back home until the allotted year, and it's not that time yet. But they were scared, but they said they were from this place. This was like, and he got scared because they left him, so he turned around and left too. But in 1895, this dude went all the way to the North Pole and said there's no pole there. It's a giant fucking hole. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not.
I did the narrative myself, the same narrative, and I read the book. I got it here as well, The Smoky God. The story.
No, it's not that God. It's not that book, but yeah, it's
not that book. I know the one of the Indians, though. I've viewed that before. That narrative, yes.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not. That's just what he said in 1895.
But there's a few of those books, and they all talk about the temperature getting warmer again, and whirlpools and green fields, and a lot of them mention giants. And on all the maps, it says it's got like the land of the pygmies, the short people.
Yeah, it's there. The land of the pygmies. This one, yeah.
Is that the Garden of Eden where we've all come out of?
Well, there's mountains all the way around it.
Is it physical or a simulation? Is this a backstory? Like, I guess that the question is what's the relevance, right? We've got so many topics, right? It's all interesting and fun, but
what's the point?
Yeah. Is it just another rabbit hole, or where's this gonna? Where are we going to end up if we go down here? Like, is it going to help?
Yeah. Some people used to think years ago that you know, the North Pole hole and the Northern Lights, and where that is the place where we're spiritually bound, and that is where we're from. But I'm not so sure.
Yeah, and then you got the Black Sun and all that kind of stuff. Black Sun, Black Sabbath.
Yeah, you could have seen Black Sabbath in Cardiff, in the capital. Was an amazing.
$1.25. I mean,
no, $1.25. I was too young at the time, but fucking hell.
Jeez, man, now you got to pay $1,200 to see Tay Tay.
What comes to mind when you see Goldie Hawn?
You're going to tell me she's a dude, aren't you?
Yeah. Rowan and Martin's laughing for me.
She was a good-looking woman, though. Like, if she was a God. I hope she was a woman.
I'm not going to try and investigate Goldie Hawn. She was tiny and petite. That was the whole point to her. There's the Oracle of Delphi there. She sat on a volcano. She's going to tell you how shit go down. They do that. Oh, you probably don't remember that. Look at Miss Piggy.
Whoa. Gee, she was hardly good under the dress, wasn't she?
Yeah, I know. Lucky Kermit. Hiya. Howdy, neighbour. Howdy. Shake hands with Porter. Go on. No, don't be scared. It'll be all right. I'm sure it's nice. This is a nice notice. Notice. Thank you for noticing this new notice. Your noticing has been noted. Isn't that nice?
That's very nice.
What does he do that about? Oh, and that's something I've been looking into, rectifiers. I'm going to talk about them on a later post. They convert electrical current. I'll talk about it.
Yeah, like Paul Cook found some in an old cinema in Malta.
What?
Yeah.
Them old rectifiers, did he?
Yeah, they're still there. He got into some room and they're all in there, and he's done a couple of videos on them.
Fucking missed
that. Maybe
Need
to have a bit of a chat with him, yeah.
I should, man. Maybe I should.
I'm just going to
thank you, Gary.
Coffee. I'll be back. I don't have a tinfoil hat, unfortunately. I was going to make a tinfoil.
I'm just going to wear my sombrero. I'm told Mexican. But, you know, might get into trouble. Okay. Callie Simon's in the house. You're so vain. I bet you think this song is about you. Goldie was married to Kurt Russell. Yeah, we know that. I think she still is, isn't she? She was lovely. Love her. Love her so much. Nixon. Good to see you. Shiva Shampoo's in the house, sure. Oh, mine's still in America, I'm afraid, Jason.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to my sombrero.
That's all right. Oh, man, you guys going to abandon me like this with all these people here?
Man.
I'm a little intimidated.
No, man. No, amigo, I'm wearing my sombrero.
Hey, I'm going to do a video with Paul Cook pretty soon.
Yeah, do that, man. Paul Cook, he's awesome. We like that Paul.
I'll be on tomorrow with John Nolan, Inspired.
Oh yeah.
I'll do one with him tomorrow.
What, a live event?
I don't know if we go live. I think his is pre-recorded.
Yeah, it's all right. I like to go live. We've got 1,197 people watching. Very good. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. The Illuminati ride again.
You got a weird hat on, man. I got to put something else on.
Man, this is so trippy. You want to see the colours in this? This is such a beautiful hat. Somebody bought it to a convention, one of my conventions for me. And check the colours in that thing. It's supposed to be 60-year-old. It's an antique. Beautiful hat. Yeah, but it hurts your neck with it on. So I've been going through old NASA videos in my spare time. I've been looking at some of the unbelievable, outrageous things that they have tried to palm off on human race. I just can't believe. When you look back on some of these older ones, it is just, oh my God. I would love to be able to post about it, but I get trolled the shit off like all of that, so I stay away from that subject.
Man, those Australian insects are loud as hell.
Is that what they are? It's cicadas, is it?
Yeah, those are insects in Australia. All that noise is coming through Cambell's feed.
That. I thought it was just his bad microphone or some shit.
No, man, that's the insects.
Fuck, you know, it gives you that atmosphere. I'm feeling a lot warmer through that, Campbell.
You what?
I don't know anything. Nothing. We weren't talking about you. The bugs,
Talking about
man.
me.
Like, what are they?
Locust?
The heart. Yeah, I know Jersey Bob, but you meant to say hat, didn't you? All right.
I don't know. They might just have the hots for Jason. What do you reckon?
Freudian slip.
That's terrible. I'm never coming to Australia.
What? Never coming to Australia?
I had a letter sent back to me that I'd sent to Australia, and I had a piece of paper, and it said this was inspected by the Australian customs. They're awfully efficient.
Inspected.
Yeah, inspected.
I mean, like man. There's this whole thing of borders, and we're supposed to be this, country, and like you can't take fruit or any food stuff anywhere in and out of Australia.
They don't want to fuck with the ecosystem.
But then they imported like the cane toad, right? 50 years ago, and it's like literally decimating the native animal population. It's everywhere, and so the government bring all this crap in, but not if you're a person. You can't even take a banana between states, man. It's crazy.
There's a Simpsons where Bart takes a frog to Australia. It's called a Chaswazza, and it fucks up the entire Australian ecosystem.
Oh, so that's probably based on cane toad. Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Right, we're coming up to, I don't know how long we've been talking, guys. I think it's somewhere on the lines of an hour, 35 minutes.
Yep, 42 seconds.
So I don't know how long you guys are going for.
I'm cool. I mean, geez, that went really, really fast. I can't believe that's been an hour and a half. And yes, people are saying they can hear the cicadas in the background. Yes, there's cicadas everywhere here in Australia.
Yeah,
lots
amazing.
and lots.
Thank you, Shiva. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, all the lovely people. Come and visit this channel. Make sure to catch up with all things on Archaix channel. I noticed he's smashing it lately. He's putting a lot out, Jason.
Oh, listen, man. Don't hate on me, bro, but I already got a badass video on YouTube. I just haven't published it. It's just sitting there. As soon as this
video is working, bro. I can't fault you.
I'm about to hit it.
Yeah, man. Put the work in. Yeah, man. That's what it's all about. And you put in a lot of work. I know. I can appreciate the effort that goes into making YouTube productions, and it's a lot of effort.
That's a lot of work, man. I've been fighting with my internet, man. It sucks. I need good internet. So I haven't been uploading much lately. I haven't been able to do it live. I want to do some live, but my man.
Just go to
what I would like to do, Campbell, if you would take the time to put together a list of all the archaeological anomalies. I don't care if it's Egyptian artifacts, if it's things from Hindustan or India, Dravidian, if it's nobody knows and it's unknown and there's petroglyphs out here, there's stone monuments. I would like you to put the list together so we can go like live on my channel and talk about Australian anomalies, because Australia is just so unknown to everybody. So yeah, I want to get my focus back on Australia, but yeah, man, I'm into that. We've got heaps, we've got. You already probably got a whole lot. Just put it in a list so we can get all the images together and then turn around and go. We can go live with it and do something like that. And I think pretty soon, Martin's going to be right here in Texas. I still got to talk to him about when he wants to make arrangements, but yeah, I'm talking about having him over here in Texas pretty fast. Yeah, I don't know if he likes that. I've heard that he loves Cardiff and he doesn't want to leave anymore. Oh, if that's the case. He'll be like, get me out of here. Oh my God, where's the plane?
Yeah, this island though, it's just the most weirdest thing I've ever. I can't even tell you. It's just a proper dystopia, man. It's just like the movies, The idea, it's the whole thing is real, And this all-seeing eye thing that is it's always been there. It's always been prevalent. I've always had this invisible hand that I've been aware of in my life. Have you had this invisible hand that interacts with your existence? Have you noticed this?
Yeah, it comes in every now and again, and
every now and again.
Listen, man. Listen, dude, you're speaking my language. This is the oversoul, bro. I'm telling you, man, it's not all dark and bad the way the media wants us to believe. We are protected, bro. I don't want to get all preachy and spiritual and all that. I'm just telling you, the freedoms that we have in our life, man, they're there for a reason, so we can grow and do all these things that we do. We ain't got the man's foot on our neck, keeping us in slavery mode like the media portrays the situation to be. It ain't really like that, man.
No,
That's a whole different world, and you can buy into it if you want to. I refuse to, man. I'm absolutely free doing my thing, and I'm coming into contact with more and more people who feel the same way, man. Yeah, man. That's the oversoul, dude. Looking out for you.
Yeah, man. I've had messages my whole life, and some I've listened to, and some I haven't listened to. I'm finding I've been incredibly stubborn and been fighting it, and I don't even really know why.
Well, you know, we're all kind of stubborn types when it gets down to it, right? Don't want people
like I know better than the superior oversoul. I'm not stubborn. It's just the weirdest thing. I just like, you know.
But yeah, no, I've definitely felt that, you know. And I think, you know, if that's where your thinking is and you believe in that as, you know, in a creator or everything, then it's going to be more, you know, what's the word? It's going to be in your life more, basically, right? It's going to show itself. And then you've got to, you know, accept it, right? Like, that's the other thing is all this stuff happens and, you know, we never put it down to the, you know, okay, the oversoul of the time. It's like, oh, this person or that person or this situation sucks. And, you know, we've really got to stand back and look at the bigger picture, I think, and go, okay, what am I? Because how often does crap happen and you're like, this sucks, and then like 2 years down the track, you're like, wow, that was the best thing that ever happened to me, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Don't judge, right?
Yeah, don't get all fucked up about it either. You know, just
and rabbit holes. I found it so sad when people, you know, wake up and they go down rabbit holes and they come out and they just come out with a bigger slave mentality. I can't do anything. We're being ruled, this and that, the banking system, this.
Listen, you know what? I agree with you so much, but I just saw what you said in the reverse. Campbell, let me explain. I take great freedom. I feel freer and freer the more I go down these rabbit holes because, like, I'm not trying to self-promote, but I have to use this as an example. One of my playlists on YouTube is dedicated. It's actually called Archaix Analysis of Bad Data, where I take these things that are believed and promoted on YouTube and I show you all the information that they're absolute bullshit. And I got a whole playlist of nothing but these videos called Archaix Analysis of Bad Data. The reason I like going after these paradigms, like Atlantis is 9,600 years ago bullshit, when it's actually the 13th century, it's been misdated by 8,000 years. The reason I like to do all that because once the truth is known, it frees us up from a bunch of the baggage that we've accepted. Once you understand the Anunnaki histories don't have anything to do with hundreds of thousands of years and that it can all be easily compressed within the 58 centuries of the historical record, it frees us up from taking in all this bad information elsewhere. Once we understand that the tarot is not old, all the focus now goes over to the tarot reader. Now it's the individual that's important, not the system. Once you understand the zodiac was invented 2,000 years ago and there isn't a single reference to it anywhere in the ancient world, now you understand that so many of these modern writers are lying to you, that the precession of the equinox is bullshit. It's never been documented. It's all crap. There's no 26,000 year cycle. The zodiacal houses are not 2,160 years. Every bit of this was invented, and yet this is the system that Graham Hancock, Andy Collins, Robert Bauval, all these famous authors are dating all these ancient monuments way anachronistically. So the reason I'm pointing this out is because great freedom is experienced once you start smashing basically these paradigms. Once you adopt the position of the iconoclast, now you're left with everything that is still truly mysterious. You've gotten all the bullshit out of the way. You know what I mean? This is why I'm so on board with guys like you. You're still entertaining genuine mystery. You haven't fallen for all this bull crap on the side that's promoted. These people that got hundreds of thousands of subs and they're making $500,000 every quarter and stuff, but they're promoting absolute fallacies that are easily.
I just really don't know anything, really.
I see some of these channels that come out and it's just mind fluff and they just grow so, and you know, these people that what do they call it, reactions, they basically spend their whole channel is then watching other people's videos and going ooh
yeah, so reaction videos are so dumb.
Popular though, aren't they? You know, that just says a lot what people's mentality
Hey,
is
you
like.
know what? We ought to do a parody sometime. The three of us ought to go live on one of our channels and just do reaction videos to all the dumb truthers out there. Oh,
Yeah, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Let's get in on it.
Yeah. Oration aliens or
reacting to stupid reaction videos.
Fucking hell. Sucralose with his hair and stuff. You could like,
Yeah. But I mean, Jason made a good point with the precession of the equinox. You know, I took that. I bought that hook, line, and sinker, and then it was around you know, when everyone was saying we're coming into the age of Aquarius, and I started looking for information to prove that. Like, how do we prove that this is what's happening? And then, you know, that's obviously tied to the precession of the equinox. And pretty quickly, I realized there's nothing to back this up. It's
well, there
just
is some evidence. There's a 60s song. This is the dawning of the
oh, yeah. Well, there you go. Sorry, I was wrong. But this is the thing, right? We all have these things that we believe is truth. And, you know, unless we can stand back and look at it and go, hang on, is that actually, and a lot of this has to do with ego, you know, it's not fine to be wrong. It's actually really good because it means you're learning something, right? So be able to have the ability to step back and go, I believe this, you know, for so long. Is it true? Look into it. And, you know, if we can all do that, then we can, like, you know, you said, Jason, just get rid of the BS and start seeing that the world, because that's how they get us to believe the world's crappy and we're slaves and all this.
Wondrous, man. There's so many wondrous things. It's
exactly.
Just wow.
You just got to wipe the BS off and get rid of the smelly stuff, and you start seeing the good underneath, right?
Oh, there's so much richness in this place, and you know, the information, you know, just pick up in nature and the whole thing. It's just, there's an experience to have of anything. You know, I can make the best out of just even crappy moments because I just do mental exercises. I was in a clusterfuck environment the other day with screaming kids, and a guy sat behind me talking about fighting and all sorts of shit. He was just totally retarded. He just was making, and I could feel my blood start to pump. And I was feeling my rage start to go. So I've done a visual exercise of just seeing a stream with mountains and a fish jumping in and out. And I felt myself, you know, stop calming down because I could feel my temper going. So, you know, there are things that you can do to, like, you know, make the best of each moment.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's all a Taurus, right? Like we collect the information from the outside and take it in, but then we also put who we are outside, and so we can change, you know, our environment anytime we want to. We can just go inside and it's all there. Stop reacting, start acting.
About
right?
this, do we manifest our own reality? Well, in the last few weeks, I've had some doubts about that. Right? Because some of the things that have happened, I'd be like, there's no fucking way I fucking manifested that. Yeah, that is just not even in my field or any slightest thought anywhere in my consciousness about any of that. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So I'm like, how the fuck is it there? So I appreciate that the things are put there for me to learn or for us all to learn or whatever it is. I get that. But I've just, for me to do this manifestation process or collapse the wave function or whatever it is, I can't get my head around why it work out like it is.
There's definitely things that are random that you know, in my life that I can talk about that, yeah, like same thing. I've never even had a thought anywhere near that, and these things happen. So yeah, it looks like there's a script, but the way I see it is there's like gateposts in this script, you know, that you've got to hit. But in between those, we have a fair degree of latitude that we can kind of create things. It's kind of like the micro macro, like the evolution, you know, like birds can change their color and they can, you know, change their size, but they can't turn into an alligator. So you can't change who you are at the base level, but you can, you know, change little bits along the way, I think. Because yeah, man, especially the last 4 years, a lot of that stuff I didn't ask for, didn't want, but it,
what do people want you though? You know, what do they want to attain in this place? Do they want spiritual perfection?
Well, that's
spiritual
point,
purity. What is it they seek? Because people got different things in this place. What they're seeking, you know, because that's me. That's what I'm seeking. I'm seeking.
Maybe we're just. You go.
That knowledge.
Hey, look, Shiva Shampoo is quoting one of my favorite authors from like 800 years ago. But he says there are rules to luck. Not everything is chance for the wise, luck can be helped by skill. That's Balthazar Gracian. And I've educated my own listeners on my channel that Robert Greene, who wrote The Art of War, who wrote two other famous books. I've read all Robert Greene's books, but in all three of his bibliographies, he leans very heavily on The Art of Worldly Wisdom by Balthazar Gracian. So I ordered that book and I read that book. Shiva Shampoo is quoting a really relevant part to you, Cambell. It says basically you can re-say what Balthazar Gracian is saying here in the terms of modern terms in the construct. If you believe earnestly that luck is available to you, the construct will put you into more circumstances where luck shows you favor.
Yeah.
Oftentimes just admitting something could be true can make it true for your life. That's how sensitive the construct is. And this is why so many people enter those depressions, because the very idea that nothing good will ever come to me, I'm just not worth it, just thinking that automatically writes into the field that you're not expecting anything good, therefore it doesn't send you anything good. We are authors of our own existence. And I don't want, like I said, I'm trying to stop preaching, guys. I'm sorry. I saw that Balthazar Gracian quote jumped out.
I mean, it's true. I was just going to say, when Martin was talking, most people hear our sort of underlying statement, if you want, is we want the truth, right? We're looking, and maybe we just interpret the way that we get the responses.
Don't want the truth. Maybe
if they're looking for enlightenment, the construct goes, great, I'm going to throw you experiences that will make you get more enlightened. So we haven't asked for that experience. We haven't seen it, but we've asked for the knowledge. We've asked for that path.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Listen, it also goes on it's the very fact, because everything is self-referencing. If anything is true, you're able to look at the obverse and see a totally different reality that also unfolds, that provides the same deal. Let me explain. I'm going to go ahead and name some of the greatest trolls that have basically I've come into contact with. You guys know these guys. Now listen, I'm going to name them, not to make fun of them. I don't care. They're irrelevant to me. They have nothing to do with how much I make a month. They have nothing to do with how awesome my life is. They have nothing to do with the amount of work that I put out every day to maintain this existence, to educate they have nothing to do with any of that. And this is my key. That's the key to understanding what I'm about to say. Here are three guys that have spent thousands of hours reviewing my material only to make spoof videos. I have occupied their existence so much, and they don't even understand what's happening. Chalk Body Outline, Tartarian Truth, Crypto Alchemist, they're just three. Here are three guys that can't stand the fact that an ex-con is so successful, and all they do is all these hate narratives against me, and all that's cool. And these three morons don't even realize what they're doing. And yet on my channel, I have taught my own listeners over and over and over and over. The construct will reflect back as circumstance whatever you energetically broadcast. And if you're broadcasting all this animus and all this animosity, animus, ire, and hatred and negativity toward me, and hoping that it will affect me that way, when I don't let that shit in my field, that energy doesn't dissipate. That's not how the construct works. That energy either affects me the way you want it to by me accepting it, or if it can't enter my field for whatever reason, it has to go right back to you in the form that you sent it. Guys, I have tried to educate my trolls over and over and over and over, but you know what? There's just no educating them. They just don't understand. Now they're developing psychoses. They've all networked together, and now every time one of them does a video, the whole chat feed is filled up with every single loser. And
when they make a new video about this, can I just put this out there? I'm actually not English. I am Welsh.
Welsh. Man, jeez.
So anyway, I have encouraged the trolls because They don't understand all this negativity is automatically by virtue of my spirit and where I hold myself in my relationship to the oversoul. Everything negative sent to me turns into a positive charge. And then I take that positivity and I use that as energy to produce more videos for everybody who wants to listen to me. And because this energy isn't being expended the way they want, and because I don't allow that into my field, that negativity returns back on these guys, and they just get more negative and more hateful. And they network even, and they're spending thousands of hours beating themselves up and then suffering the consequences of it. It's so retarded. It's so good. It's absolutely the opposite of the way things would be in a real world. That's why I know we're going to construct.
Yeah, right. A little weird, isn't it? All them hours, you know, just watching.
It's just crazy. But I know. But it also shows that they've really got nothing to say, because if they did, they'd be focused on that and saying it, right? Like to spend your life. And
I'll send them some pictures and throw them some content if they want.
Yeah. Let us know, trolls. You want some content? I just sent this video and put it up. Whatever.
You don't get fucked up by your own evil.
Like I had one a few weeks ago, and like he's fully like taken my videos, and he's like, you know, calling me an idiot and then all this, and you know, blah blah blah, and so I just looked at him and oh well, you know, you can make your own videos, but if you're going to take mine and then you know use that against me, well, you know, copyright claim, Bob, see you later, buddy. And he got all offended and started writing me emails and oh my god, you're just trying to block the truth, and I'm like. This is really your life, guy. This is really your. You can't even make a video telling people that I'm a dickhead because of this and that. You have to take my video. Like, come on, man.
Fuck that.
All people. I just, it's just a thought pattern that's so far away from anything I can even.
I've been trolled for 10 years. I've been a flat earther for 10 years. I have it coming at me every single day. I could give a shit.
And they all think that they're so clever and that they're the first one to do it. It's like, guys.
It's not that you can ban them and then they talk in chat and they think people can see them and they're actually banned. It's really funny.
Yeah, fucking stupid. It's all dumb.
I just.
What's crazy is I mean, after a while, I'm gonna even if I was gonna be doing the same activity and I never got the result that I wanted to. I mean, they started attacking me when I had 4,000 subs. I got 132,000 subs in Rising right now, still attacking me. None of it's work. It's like PT.
They do play dirty as well. They do unkind things, really like quite evil. Actually, it's not low. It's like lower level evil. It's not really nice.
Well, Paul Cook, man, like he got attacked, and to the point that they were making websites in his name and just filling them full of crap, and they really, and he had to shut down all his social media except for his YouTube. Like, yeah, man, and they're like devils in disguise, man.
Paul Cook's all right. I've given him shout outs. Martin and I have done live videos and we gave him shout outs. But the reason I kept him at arm's length for a while, because he has effed up. He effed up really bad on a couple live videos.
He's made a few mistakes. We all have.
It's real simple. It was just a business decision that I need to make sure he's not going to be making mistakes like that. If you're going to share your screen and show people things off your computer, you better make sure your computer's clean. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, he's tripped out a couple times.
Yeah, but we all make mistakes.
Though, you know, it's like it's not fuck all really in my head. You know the way the world is, and that. You know.
But I mean, all this stuff is really it's all for us, isn't it? It's all just to show us which way not to go. You know, you can learn as much from someone who's doing the wrong thing as you can from the right thing, and if we look at that, you know, it's like the last 4 years, everyone's like, oh my God, the world's changed, they've taken over. I'm like, well, no, the world's woken up and you'll start, this is the apocalypse, right? This is literally the unveiling. Everyone's freaked. Everyone's running around going, it's the apocalypse. And when stuff starts to be revealed, they start freaking out. And I'm like, but you said it was the apocalypse. This is it. You're being shown. Like these politicians aren't suddenly, you know, more corrupt and more stupid. We're just seeing that. They've always been that corrupt and stupid. It's just being unveiled to us, like, so we can really understand it. I mean, it's good,
that's not funny, Alpha. Just saying. I had like literally 10 minutes on my live thing flat today, Jason, and I'm talking about the pictures and they're not showing. So it's just me talking at the screen for like 10 fucking minutes until my friend told me You're not
I
sharing the
came on,
screen,
I'm like,
man.
what the hell? Sending Martin messages and stuff.
Thank you, Cambell, for telling me. Yeah, it was really embarrassing. I know. Still, it's only YouTube. There's Stellarium 7 there. There's my.
No, we've all done it. And it's always the best stuff that you say when you're muted, isn't it? And then you go, oh my God, and then you forget everything you said. It's like,
Yeah. Good shit. Good
yeah,
stuff.
man.
I can't spell apocalypse, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, it's not.
Nice.
It's not my joke, actually. That's Hugh in chat's joke. He said at the beginning of the
Very
show.
good. Very nice.
He tells awesome jokes. These one-liners.
Yeah, well, yeah, we should have a dad joke like session in one of our lives. Get the dad
trolls
jokes
will
off,
keep
man.
you some level of consciousness due to being stuck in the negative. It's not that. It's the way I see it. This is just my interpretation. It's just people sad and they're on their own on their computer all day with fuck all else to do. And there's nowhere to go. It's the middle of the winter. So they vent all of their narcissistic bullshit on the fucking internet. Because it's just, that's where people vent it now. It's horrible.
And they know they'll get a reaction. Or they hope they'll get a reaction. They hope they'll get a reaction of some kind.
Oh, if you give it to them, you give them your energy, then they're fucking winning, aren't they? And then you're their bitch. But that's not going to happen, is it? I couldn't give a fuck.
You give a shout out. Give a shout out to Stellium 7. He's in the chat.
Yeah, I've just brought him up there. Mike's in the chat.
Hey, Mike. Yep.
Thanks.
Always good. Yes. Yeah. So how did everyone in chat? I think we had like 1,200 last time I looked. How many have we got here?
Yeah, that's sweet. 1,180. Thank you all for being here. We're going to end the stream in a moment, I guess.
We're going 2 hours.
Any final thoughts? My final thoughts are this place is infinitely weird. Is my final thought. Okay.
So be infinitely weird with it, man.
I think it's an awesome thing.
Yeah, awesome. let your inner weirdness out.
Well, I'm gonna tell you now, real soon, I'm gonna stir up the pot because I did something. And listen, on Twitter, on X, I'm on Twitter now. I'm posting every day. So on X, on Archaix Facebook, on Archaix TV, and on YouTube, I did a poll on all 4 of them. Hundreds and hundreds of people participated and gave me thousands of data points. But I specifically asked, hey guys, I need to know what your opinions are in the community on who are the shills, who's out there promoting a whole bunch of bullshit. What do you think? Give me a reason why. And on a scale of 1 to 10 on the shillometer, the official Archaix shillometer, 1 through 10, how bad are they? Well, listen, we're almost done, but this has been going on for a week. Archaix TV alone has thousands of data points. So many people went in there and named.
When's the breakdown?
I am about to publish this. It's going to take me a few days to put it together, but I'm publishing it in a live video on YouTube for all the shills out there to know that Jason of Archaix didn't rate this. All I did was put together a shillometer. This is the community across Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and where else?
Archaix TV.
Oh, Archaix TV. I say this is the public speaking, and this is the rating they're giving you. So, and this is how many people rating.
What number did I get?
Oh, you guys aren't even on. You guys aren't even on the list. You're not even on the list.
And the last video I put up, like before it even went live, there was about 4 comments saying, "Oh, what was it like? Every time he opens his mouth, it's a lie," and all this kind of like. The video's not even up, people. Come on.
It's pre-crime. Yeah.
Good shit.
Tom Cruise is going to come for me, man.
Yeah. You were going to say bad things.
So I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I'm going to catch flack for that, but I don't care. I don't even give a
Oh, dude. I don't think you're stirring the pot. I think you're walking up to a bee's nest with a baseball bat doing that.
I don't even care, man.
The
shillometer is going to shock people.
Shillometer, man. We need a graphic for that, don't we? Like a little.
Yeah, it's going to be a shillometer. And let me tell you something. Some of these people are going to be shocked that the public opinion is so against them. Wow.
Yeah, man.
I'm
interested in seeing that as well.
Yeah.
See how it goes with my thoughts.
Oh, I want to know some now.
Hey, HWMO Liberty says that will be interesting. Michael Jaco mentioned a similar subject. Well, I'm going to tell you now. You can tell
Michael Jaco.
Michael Jaco rated real high on that shilometer.
He would be up the top, man.
Oh, there's one. Let's go.
I mean, ex-CIA, right? Does ex-CIA even exist? I think once you're CIA, I think that's for life, right? I don't think that anyone's an ex-CIA person.
Don't even know anymore. But anything. What is all this shit?
Thank you, babe.
It's just a ride. There you are.
Just a ride,
I'm passing through is what we're doing. There you are.
Just a ride. Enjoy the ups and downs.
The longer you get here, the more suspicious you get about the nature of reality. Is like, hang on.
Yeah, I mean, it's all. Don't get suspicious because then you start thinking everyone's out to get you. Just find.
No, I don't. I've been
Things
seeking
are
the same
interesting.
thing my entire life. I just want to know who's the one who sees. I want to understand myself. I want to know me. I want to know about about reality. I want the answers.
Well, yeah,
So
yeah, man. Listen to your gut, man. As soon as I get that feeling, I'm gone. You know, like if someone's bad for you, then you don't need to be there at all. You don't need to apologize. You just need to get out of there, man.
No, man. I quite like myself. I think I'm all right.
Yeah.
Hang on with me.
Don't get away from yourself, Martin. I think
that's why I'm all right with my own
company. And I mean, that's an interesting point, right? Like a lot of these people, they just obviously can't enjoy their own company. Like they sit down by themselves, and what they're thinking about is that person this and this person that.
It's
and
exactly
oh my God, how dare they?
Yeah.
Like they can't relax and just go, man, this is an awesome world. I'm doing this. I mean, I like it. I'm like you, man. I like spending time with myself to the point where sometimes I tell people to go away. Dude, can't you see I'm talking to myself? Get out of here.
Yeah, man. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. People are hard fucking work. There's no doubt about it.
I didn't know the one tucks are in the chat. The one tucks are the ones that made my aluminum hat when they came and visited me in Texas. They actually live in New Zealand. They're in New Zealand right now. They're the ones when they stayed with us, they came over here, they made this aluminum full hat. But
I'm gonna have to make one. I was gonna do it, but I had a bit of a flooding episode yesterday and had to quickly move everything I own, and it's all stacked up in boxes and cars and stuff. So I want to show this guy. We should do that. What is it? Illuminati? Is that how we say it?
Illuminati.
Yeah, Campbell. You and I need to do a video on everything you revealed since the very inception of your channel about mysteries of Australia. Because a lot of people in my community don't know much about Australia. I mean, I don't know much about Australia. You know what I mean? So all three of us need to do one on the Illuminati.
The Illuminati, yeah.
I'm talking about the Illuminati.
Yeah, man. I've got a top hat. I've got an aluminum top hat, tinfoil top hat, or a tinfoil sombrero.
In America. I left in a car. I want to show this guy here. Do you know him at all, Campbell? Justin Pawlak. Now,
I saw he's been putting out a few videos lately. Yeah.
All over the holidays. He hasn't stopped working. His videos are awesome. He plays handpipe. Guy spiritually, and he just resonates such positivity. He's a wonderful person. Love the guy, Justin Pawlak. Make sure
definitely go check him out. He's been around for years, but I've noticed he's only just started putting out a lot of content again.
He's just working hard. He's just putting the work in, and that's it. And I'm watching that, and I love to watch, people putting the work in, and he keeps on going, and his views are going up, and it's just really
that's another thing, right? All this stuff about I'm being shadow banned, and have you ever noticed you hear that from channels with like 2,000 subscribers? I'm being shadow banned. It's like I don't think I'm relevant to YouTube, and I'm at 80. It's like, come on, you're not being shadow banned. What's happening is you're talking yourself into being shadow banned, and you're creating the lack of interest, because instead of focusing on putting out content like Justin and working hard, they're focused on, oh my God, I'm so oppressed, it's all YouTube's fault. So that whole thing about I think that's self-created, man. Shadow banning
could be. It very well could be.
Never ever used to give it a thought. I've seen a few videos, people moaning like fuck this week on Facebook and stuff about like.
I mean, I'm going to bring one example, just one example of shadow banning. Remember, guys, I'm always looking at the obverse. I'm always trying to see what's not real to be determined what's left. Because let me give one example so you see what I'm seeing. Okay, you and I have been doing this for a while. I'm the new guy on the block. You guys have been here a lot longer than me. But then all of a sudden, none of us have ever heard of this individual. And by the time we hear about them, they're already at the top. Jared Boosters already putting all these videos out, got all these followers, and no one has ever dropped the name on none of our chats and none of our channels. Say, hey, what do you think about Jared Boosters? I'm talking about like a year ago, a year and a half ago. We don't know who this dude is. He just pops up out of nowhere, and he's got all this content. It's almost like an AI generated. What's his face look like? Who is this dude? You know what I mean?
The faceless channels. Like there's another one.
That's just one example.
My lunch break that's just suddenly popped up, and I think, as far to my knowledge, it's like 6 months. It's not very old at all, but yeah, just getting 20, 30,000 views. You never see the face.
Yeah, man. Listen, I agree. It took me 2 years to get 1,000 subs. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it took me another year. It took me another year for it to go to 1,000 to 4,000 when I started blowing up. But what I'm saying is there's been many times when people have come into my chat and said, hey, what do you think about that dude Cambell, Autodidactic, when they're new to my channel and they don't know that you and I have already interacted a lot. So people have said, hey, what do you think of Flat Earth British? So what I'm saying is Archaix has been dropped in y'all's chats a few times as well. So while I've heard of Mind Unveiled and many other established, AWAR, I've heard of Crow 77 hundreds of times. People, FPV Angel, people have been dropping.
He's been trolling me recently. He's been trolling me recently.
Listen, my point is we've all heard these names because people ask us what our opinion is. Yeah. And then people like Jared, then Jared Boosters pops up, and no one's ever heard of this before. Man. And he's not the only one. There's a whole bunch of channels just suddenly appearing with whole back histories intact. How'd that happen?
Yeah. No, I agree.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I can see that happening. There's fucking loads and loads of them now. I can't keep up with them.
Look, FPV Angel is a sad story. Back when I had 30,000 subs or so, he put me on a BitChute list, and several people screenshot it and sent it to me. And on BitChute, I've never even talked to the dude. I didn't even know who he was. I've never watched his channel. But I appeared on his BitChute list as a government operative who was stealing his research and repackaging it for Archaix.
I'm like, the amount of people that he's come out and said that stealing his research it's a pretty long list now, man.
Yeah, fuck yeah. This guy here is asking, Jason, do you think Mind Unveiled is AI? No, he ain't, mate. I can tell you that for nothing. He's a dude. I've talked to him in email.
I've spoken to him. Yeah.
Mind Unveiled reached out to me this morning just thanking me for the shout out.
Oh, there you
go. I wasn't promoting them. I was just showing my own listeners, hey guys, many of the things I told you about 1902 or 1903, they're being featured on Mind Unveiled's latest video. Go check it out. You'll see the crossover. So other than that, no, I don't think he's AI. I think those people are real.
Yeah, and he's been around for years as well. Like he's got an actual history. But it's like you say, how could a channel be out there on this topic without any of us hearing it, but without any of our watchers hearing about them?
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands of people searching for this. Doesn't make sense. I agree.
Yeah, Mind Unveiled's not on that list of Jared Boosters. I have a list, Jared Boosters on it. I got a list of about 17 channels that I'm real curious about because they have no history. Don't have no history. So,
I don't let it wind me up anymore. I used to, but it's like that's just unfilterable shit, isn't it? So I just don't care anymore. Let them carry on. It must be for a reason anyway. Can't do anything about it.
Yeah, and it's promoting our genre, I guess. Hopefully, as long
people
as
still come back to the people, the personalities, like namely us and stuff. Well, it's like you don't get that from them. They're not in the community. You never see them in the chat feeds. You never see them. They're not here.
That's another thing that you notice is they don't have communities around them. They have all these views and everything, but there's no community like around them really. Like it's nothing. Like
community.
Gary Bayer, somebody named Gary Bayer says that he watched Jared Boosters when Jared Boosters was small. Well, which I'm not doubting that, but it kind of makes you wonder, why does YouTube hide so many other channels from us, and then all of a sudden only show us when they're related to our topics once they've already far surpassed us? You understand?
Yeah, but with Jared Boosters, I'm wondering, what would be the point, because he's not getting like the narrative. This is what it's about, isn't it?
He just shows a lot of pictures.
Photos that me and Cambell have shown a fucking dozen times. They post them 12 minutes long, and they get 100,000 views in a fucking day. No problemo. Okay.
How is that?
So what would be if it was? I'm just saying, if it was from their standpoint, like, you know, them, and they put him in, what is he actually doing? He's just doing, like, showing to Tartaria this subject, reset subject, and he's sending people our way. I can't see an agenda attached to it, like the words fuck things, because he's not, like, tied any weirdness in with anything, is he? He just shows pictures.
No, he's not. He's just somebody that
pictures.
Never been on my radar and just suddenly appeared, like so many other things.
Same. And I just like you know, it's like, oh, fuck me, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, but when I first saw him, I only just came across him like maybe a year and a half ago. I mean, it might have been 2 years, I guess. And he's like 2 or 3 times as big as my channel now.
Yeah.
And like you said, most of the stuff he shows, I've already showed. He doesn't get into conversing. It's really just here's a, you know, every video is like the oldest photos of this, and it's just photos.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you got to appreciate, like, maybe Dad got a few quid. Yeah. People book and buy subscribers.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. Yeah.
Subscribers, because they fucking crank up live, yeah, and there's fucking no one in the chat. No one gives a shit, and their videos are on 1,000 fucking views, and they'll have like 400,000 fucking subscribers. It's like that exists for rich folk, yeah. And if you spoil little bastards and you want, like, oh, I want subscribers, Dad, can you pay for them? That could happen.
Yeah, man, you can advertise, you can pay for advertising, you'll get views and stuff that way. I mean, there's lots, if you put money in and it's just for the likes, then there's a lot you can do. But when you're a poor, struggling creator,
yeah, I know.
Without a rich daddy, you've got to do it the old-fashioned way. You know, which is good, you know, like I appreciate everyone, you know, I'm glad I can do this, really. I mean, how lucky are we, man? I was I had a job 4 years ago, man. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Like a 9 to 5. That was killing me quickly.
Well, after doing what you've done now, I don't think it'd be possible if you actually go back to the What are you going to tell him, Cambell?
The boss would walk up and ask me to do something, and I'd be like, what the hell? You don't tell me what to do, man. Get your ass out of here.
Will tell him a thing. UAP, what's up? I love UAP.
Oh, is he here? Is he?
No,
hey man,
what's
UAP.
up?
Is he in the chat?
I don't know. I haven't seen him for time.
He's still around. I've seen him a couple of times.
Oh, I've seen him putting videos on, doing the live feeds and stuff. Oh, there he is, UAP.
There you go.
Lovely to see you, UAP.
We love UAP. I mean, we should have another chat. We did a couple of chats with him, 3 years ago?
We did a couple of shows together back in the day, years ago now, about 4 years ago, maybe.
Yeah. It's when I was brand new. I mean, and you guys were the big channels, like you, Martin, and UAP.
Well, when I started, Wise Up was the big channel. Yeah.
Wise Up. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And he was like, it was Wise Up and Sylvie, wasn't it? Yeah.
And Sylvie, Sylvie.
There wasn't any channels in this subject, but he was like, he done like sort of pre-flood stuff, didn't he? So,
the Wise Up.
Yeah.
So
in the beginning, he came across with some advice for me as a YouTuber, which I still heed to this day. And he was saying people will treat you like you're just a TV station, Matt, and they won't consider your feelings. So whatever you do, don't fucking let it get to you. Yeah. And
good advice. Damn good advice.
Damn good advice. And I always hear what he said to me when I've been attacked and stuff. It's like, yeah, they just don't give a fuck. They don't think of us as people. You know, I'm just doing, because YouTube, you got loads of subs. They think, you know, fucking hell, they're on TV. Do you know how is this, guys?
This is the thing, right? They are called YouTube channels, but you know, we don't really think of them as a channel like a TV channel, do we? But they are, you know, people. I mean, we've all had it, right? When you walk up or someone walks up to you to meet you and they have this look in their eye, you know. And
like, this old lady, local.
I'm just a person. Don't look at me like that.
This old lady, she says to her son, "There's that man off the telly." He comes over to me. He knows about my channel, and he said she watches you on the big screen, bro. She fucking loves you. This old lady.
Yeah. Oh man, we're the new stars, right?
Yeah. Fucking right too. Fucking hell. You can't trust them fucking. They're like, if you see any star on a chat show or an interview show, they're so shallow and they haven't got much to give. There's a few exceptions, maybe. Man of Brando. He was a great intellectual. People like that. But apart from that, oh, that's stupid. Anyway, we're gonna end the show now. It's 2 hours 19 minutes. Jason, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm ready to go, man. I got some chicken waiting on me.
Oh, what? Southern chicken?
That's right.
You can smell it now. Mental.
Down here
And
in
if
Texas,
anyway, you can
we
smell
love our
food.
yard birds.
You can smell food in your mind. How is that possible?
Because you've been here and you smelled Texas yard birds. And you know. And you know.
Oh, I do know. It don't taste like that here. I can guarantee you that. So yeah, that was a really enjoyable show. Thank you, gentlemen. You are most gracious. Thank you.
Thank
Gentlemen
you.
indeed, and worthy of being great troopers. Thank you.
Nice. Yeah, man.
Jason
We'll have to do it
Starley.
again. I'll have to meet up in the USA again, maybe.
Yeah, that's on the cards, isn't it, bro? Fucking hell.
Yeah,
that
you can
news.
also go to Archaix right now because I just dropped a badass 8-minute video. I just clicked it on 30 seconds ago.
All right, fair enough. Somebody can
8
share that up in
minute
chat
video.
if they can pick that up. Mod, please.
It's all about who you are in the last 5,000 years.
Oh, sounds
No, it's
interesting.
making money an agenda. Fuck no. You just got to live in a crazy fucking time, man.
It's. I mean, God, that's my biggest peeve, man. Is people who are like, "You're doing the right thing, so you can't make money. How dare you live by your morals? You should be in the dirt, starving." You know, while they're going to a corporate job, supporting the system.
Well, it's just out of jealousy, isn't it?
I
How
mean,
very dare you?
it's jealousy,
Yeah,
man. Like,
exactly.
so if you got, yeah.
We'll make a fucking video then and
We'll
get a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
See how easy it is. First, you've got to have some sort of personality, yeah? That's like a big help.
I've heard it helps.
Charisma helps. So thank you all. You're all beautiful people.
Yep. Thanks everyone in chat.
Thank you, Jason of Archaix channel. Make sure to subscribe to Jason of Archaix and my epic brother as well. Is
How y'all do it?
Cambell.
How y'all do it? How y'all do it?
I just wiggle it. It doesn't even matter.
Wiggly
It's just
thumb.
random, and it hasn't got agenda attached to it apparently because I made it up. It's not my Brian. So, cool indeed. Yeah.
I need a hand sign.
Cool. It's cool.
Yeah, man. I want a hand symbol. How do I do a hand symbol?
Got to make one up. You need. I
You're gonna have
copy
to
British
make one up.
television. You need catchphrases.
Yes,
Catch
you're
on,
in that
right?
spot.
The wiggly flat thumbs. Okay. You'll do it. That's how we learn. Oh, thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Linda.
Yes. Give me $10 back. Thank you, sweetness. Much love to you. And flat thumbs off Epic, Justin. I will link you up after this show, Justin. I will do that for you because you are well cool. I'm very impressed with you. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Love you all.
Love you all. Be good. Don't do anything
Stay
I
awesome.
wouldn't do.
That's
Be sure to
nothing.
share this channel, this show out, if you would, please, as well. Thank you.
I'm gonna check out. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah. See you
See you
later,
guys.
Jason. Bye, guys.